Guys, is this your first time seeing me and Tummy do this? Yes or no? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay, so for those who don't know, me and Tummy here, we used to do a podcast called the Hidden Potential Podcast. The last episode was like 3.5 years ago. Like, it's been that long, bro. It's been almost like 4 years since the last episode. So now we're back with episode 3. And we have a lot of fun and interesting topics to talk about today. So what we're going to do during this podcast session is we're going to go through the topics that we have listed out. And then after each topic, we want to hear what you have to say about it. You know what I mean? I want to hear what you guys have to say. I will not be answering questions in the middle of this, unfortunately. So if that's what you're here for, I'm sorry. But you can learn a lot from listening to this. What's also important to mention is the last podcast we did are actually scary. It is scary how much we predicted the future. Like, the stuff that we talked about years ago literally ended up happening years down the line. It's crazy. Like, we actually foresaw this game's future. Like, with the passes and everything. Like, I'm not even trolling. So maybe it's all my fault. And whatever. Everything, I'm the worst person on earth. And that's fine, bro. It is what it is. Yep. So today, we have a lot of topics. I'm joined here with Tummy. If you don't follow him, make sure you also follow him. Sonto, S-O-N-T-O. On YouTube and on Twitch. I'll have it linked both down below. And then this will also go up on the YouTube channel if you can't watch the whole thing. DP Trader. Yeah, true, actually. True. Man. All right, so I actually have the first topic here. So we can start. Who can guess? Who can guess what the topic is? First topic. Inky.
Endgame.
Endgame. Yo, I just want to say nobody's guessed the topic yet. Like, you guys are horrible. Actually, you're not horrible. Like, you're guessing good topics, but not the first topic. The World Cup. The World Cup.
Alright, just tell them. Just tell them.
All right. The first topic I'm going to put on the screen here is familiars. The first topic is familiars. That's the first thing we're going to talk about here. Familiars. This is going to be the first topic. So things that we want to talk about familiars is just like anything in regards to them, is like any problems with them, like what we think about familiars, where they should go, or anything like that. So you want to start, or I could give my thoughts on familiars, like the first things that I think of.
You can start, and then I'll just do some layups and whatnot.
Okay, the first thing that I think of when I think of familiars is two things that I really hate about them. The first one is I hate that there's no familiar anvils. I hate the way they look. I hate that, like, every familiar is either Priest of the Source or Night Road Mob, or these big-ass monsters that are behind you. And the problem with that is I'm somebody who likes looking at the game effects, especially with a future update that we're getting that makes it a lot easier to see the game effects. Like, in the future, we're going to have it so that the boss layer, like, is on top of all of your effects. So it's not going to be hard to see anything during the bossing. But that means if you turn your effects on, you're going to see your familiars. And these big-ass vamps that are, like, huge. Like, they're like, bigger than Hecate that are just standing behind you. It's so annoying. And then the second thing that I hate about familiars is the pity on rank up. I think the pity on rank up just makes no sense. Like, this is, like... It actually just doesn't make any sense. Like, 14 fails to tier up to unique. Like, there's so many RNG aspects of familiars that are just so ridiculous. Like, there's no guaranteed amount that you can get from a daily or a weekly. It's just only from farming. I mean, that's the other thing. It's you can only get them from farming. There's RNG in how many you get from farming. They're affected by drop, obviously. And then you have to tier them up. And then you have to hope you get something. They have to tier it up again to unique. It's like, it's such an annoying ass process. There's actually so much to talk about. The familiar, like the difference between like Roro rings as well. Like there's just a lot that comes with two familiars. Like the familiar system is actually such a big ass system. Like there is so much that goes into familiars. Like even the slot expansion, the badges, the breakthrough, the Mystic Frontier. Like there's so much that is attached to the system. And now Mystic Frontier Champions, another thing that's also attached to the system. But yeah, anyways, that's what I want to say. There's a lot to go into though.
Yeah, I also agree with a lot of things he said. The first thing that I wanted to talk about with the familiar topic was acquisition, right? So before we had familiars in Grandis, we had familiars in like select maps of Arcane River as well, right? But eventually they did add Cernium and Burning Cernium as the first area of Grandis to have familiars.
Yep.
And then I don't have the note pulled up for that, but I do recall their wording or their word choice being like, "Oh, we will have internal discussions of like expanding this further to other regions of Grandis," right? Which, you know, like I think maybe 2 years later or something like that, they did eventually add it to Hotel Urcus.
Yeah.
And then I believe like the following MapleCon announcement or whatever, or like slash Inkwell note, they had like that was when they just opened the floodgates and they gave it to everywhere. Shangri-La, Odium, Arteria, Carcion, and then, you know, eventually Talahart. So I felt like after we experienced that, like not only was that always like really good for us, right? But it kind of felt like a huge weight off our shoulder that, oh, there's going to be new areas coming out after Talahart, right? So it makes me feel like, okay, it's probably safe to assume that when the 295 area comes out, when the 300 area comes out, that we're probably just going to have FAMs day one, right? But the fact that you and I went and got invited to PTS, and I went to Gear Dock to check if there's any familiar that's dropped or not.
I went there too.
No.
Yep.
There's no familiars that drop. There's no badges for that area too. So again, it's up for speculation because maybe this just wasn't prepared yet for PTS, or you know, when the game comes up in like 2 days for the patch update, when we look at the patch notes, maybe there actually isn't familiars for Gear Dog. So I think it's actually so insane that we've actually gone full circle of like, oh, we're here again, where we're waiting for them to add familiars for an entirely new region that hasn't, you know, like, it's insane that we're at that point again.
Yeah, like we're moving backwards. Like there was confidence and now there's less confidence. And it's funny because there's less confidence despite having a test server, which you would think would add more confidence. It's funny how that works. It's very silly.
It might be too early to say, but the fact that PTS didn't have it, I mean, like, that's just like, it's just shocking. Like, I really hope that, you know, just a little prank, and there's a little camera over there, just gauging my reaction that, oh, you know, there actually was familiars on day one of the patch, but if there actually isn't Gear Dock fams, it's actually so bad, because other than like what's obvious, the fact that, you know, you were talking about Mystic Frontier Champions, which is an entirely new event attached to Mystic Frontier, and I played around with it and I understood how the system works. In order to participate, you have to have newly acquired familiars. So the familiars that you have in your inventory already, they don't count. It has to be familiars that drop after the patch. So that means if you happen to be one of the most dedicated players in this game and you're 295 and you go to Gear Dock, well, there's no FAMs for you to newly acquire. Your choice is to either just stay in Gear Dock to take advantage of the haste event for as much XP as possible, or if you really wanted to participate in Mystic Frontier Champions, first of its kind, which has really good rewards, you're gonna have to stay in Talahart to farm the newly acquired FAMs to participate, which is awful.
That's not exactly how it works though, because there's the FAM types. Like you might not even be able to get the FAM you want in that area. You might actually have to go back to like Shang or something to find the FAM that you want.
So when I did test that, you weren't limited to only the FAM type it was asking for. That if you were able to fulfill that, you got it as a bonus dice, like a bonus roll.
Oh, I see. I
So
thought it
you could
was
put any fam you
mandatory.
wanted. No. I
I
thought so
see.
too, but I double checked.
Okay.
So you could put any fam in there. So for people that are in Talahart, you're probably just going to be using Talahart fans.
I see.
It's kind of hard. This is kind of divulging a little bit, but it's hard to like take advantage of that familiar bonus, anyways, because you have like 30 minutes to like draft a deck. So like you would have to like farm up a bunch of blue cards to hope you get an actual good roll on it, and then use it in your deck.
Or you could
whereas-
like Giga prepare fams of every type, like long term.
Yeah, like just take an L in the first few days and just have like a super stack deck. Yeah. But anyways, back to the main point, like acquisition, right? The fact that we don't have 100% confidence that we're going to have familiars and gear dog is we're actually just gone full circle. That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really hoping that this isn't the case. 'Cause that would just really suck.
I think not to burst your bubble here, but I think familiars not being in Geardrock is a problem. I think it's more so a problem because it makes the confidence we have in them shaky. It's like questionable. It's like, okay, are you actually gonna continue to support not only the game but the direction that you put the game in? Like, you say that we're gonna have fams in future areas, you give us fams everywhere, but then you don't put them in Geardrock. Like, what does that say about our confidence in you, right? I actually think, like, I'm sure you know this too, but it's like the actual effect on the game, it affects such a tiny amount of people. I think there's like way bigger issues about fams that affect everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I'd love to see like solutions for that stuff. I think Geardrock will get fams. Like, I'm pretty confident it will. I doubt, even if it didn't get fams at first, I think it will very shortly after. I think it's important to mention that as well. Like, there's no way that it just straight up just never gets fams. Like, I refuse to believe that. There's literally no way. Also, it's possible that we get in a couple of days. Like, the patch notes come out tomorrow and we'll see. But yeah, it's more for me, it's more so just like not the actual like effect of it, like, oh fuck, I can't participate in champions. It's more so just like, okay, like this is another reason why I have trust issues with Nexon, basically.
Yeah. That's it in terms of like acquisition, honestly. Like, there's not really much. I mean, they can always do more to make acquisition easier or better, but for what they have so far, I think it's acceptable. Like, sure, they can maybe like, I don't know, touch up the drop rate of things or whatever, but I think as it is, it's fine. Especially because the drop rate formula for familiars is different from other things that are important to us.
It is,
like,
yeah. It's really affected by drop.
Yes, every % of drop rate you get affects it linearly. Like, you will notice the difference. If you're diligent in like recording your rate of acquisition like per hour or whatever, you will notice the difference of going from like 200% drop to 300% drop. It is a very, very big difference.
Yeah.
So I think as it is, it's fine. The next thing that I did want to talk about, which you did mention, was the tier up pity. So to pity from blue to purple, you have to fail 5 times.
Yeah.
Which honestly, like, that's not like too crazy, right?
Dude, I think that is crazy. Like, rare
You
to
think it should
purple
be,
5
like,
times. I think it should be like 3 max.
Like 3?
Yeah. Like, I think 5 times is a lot. Like, how many times have you ever failed 5 times on rare? Like, that shit's crazy.
I think I've gotten close to 4, but yeah, I never had
Even
5.
3 times is crazy. If I fail rare to epic 3 times in a row, I'm like, yo, what is happening? Like, I'm bugged.
Yeah. But then, like, the most egregious one is definitely unique.
Unique is the
Purple
worst
to unique
one. Yeah.
is 14. Like, that is absurd.
Bro, even if it goes to like 7, I'm like, yo, this is like, what is happening? I'm like freaking out. Even if it goes to 7, 14, I can't even imagine. If I'm like at 13, at 14, I actually can't even imagine. I'd be like, how is this even possible? Like, the odds of that happening is like 0% chance. Like, it's like nobody's ever actually doing that pity. Anytime somebody does or gets close, it's like worth mentioning because of how insane it is. I think the unique pity should be like less than half. It should be like 6 or something.
Yeah, I think they can definitely touch that up, and I don't like it's kind of like a cosmetic change almost, because it's like in the long grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't really change too much. But like, you are basically eliminating that feeling of like just being giga unlucky,
Yeah.
right? Which like someone has to be giga unlucky, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you're at least kind of like making that not as often as it could be, because 14 is a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Right.
lot. It's OD. Like it's crazy. I actually do have another problem with acquisition though, low key.
Oh sure, yeah. What's
This is like a broader point about the game. I don't like when certain resources are locked behind only one way of getting them. Like FAMs, realistically, like you're only getting them from farming. And not only that, you're basically getting none unless you have a lot of drop gear. So like they're a system you not only basically can't interact with when you're early game, and you can only get them from a lot of farming. Like, you know how hard it is to get 40 boss, right? So it's like, how is somebody supposed to get 40 boss unless you train a lot, right? It's just not really possible. What I think is there should be a quest or a weekly, or bosses have a chance to drop fam, something like that. Because that way you can not only prog your main, you can also prog other characters. It could be a chance where it's like Lucid has a chance to drop 2 epic fam cards or something of Lucid. Or maybe a rare chance to get a unique of Lucid. Most of the time, you're not going to get shit, right? Like, you're not going to get anything from that epic. You're not going to get anything from that unique. But over the course of a long time, it helps. It's another option. Same with a quest. If there was a weekly quest, that's like you do this weekly quest every week, you get 3 unique cards or something like that. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it's still something small that helps and adds up and gives a person an opportunity to even maybe get something. I don't like how it's only through farming, because if it's only through farming, it only benefits people who farm a lot. Somebody who's doing daily story 30 minutes a day, even an hour a day, they're not getting fams. Like, even an hour a day of farming, you're basically not getting shit, because with max drop, it's about an hour to get a unique fam with max drop, maybe a little more, like an hour and a half. So I think the acquisition does have a problem. I'm not a fan of the way it's set up right now.
I think for me, I wouldn't say, I don't think I disagree with what you've said. I think it makes sense. Not that I'm trying to defend Nexon, but I would imagine that the reason why they leave it as it is because just the entire just the whole culture behind playing this game now, and all the quality changes they've added to the game, they're very much catering to like the daily story players, right? So much so that, you know, like we have event procs, right? Like you get like 20 to 30 event procs, and you basically get them all done when you pop like a 30-minute coupon.
Yep.
Right? So I feel like this is like with the way that they're shaping this game for like more casual players, or people that only have like anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour to play a day. I think the progress of familiars is kind of like a little bait for them to like, hey, you know, like if you did want to progress this, you know, particular part of your progression faster, you would have to do more than just the 30 procs you do a day. You would have to start doing like an hour more, 2 hours more, right? So it's kind of like them trying to convert like more casual players into becoming a little bit more of like more invested into the game. Like instead of only limiting themselves to only 30 minutes to an hour to the game, like now it's just like, okay, you're spending like 2 hours on the game, and on the weekends you're spending maybe like 4 hours now, as opposed to like maybe like 2 at max before, you know, you got roped into this whole familiar progression thing. That isn't to say that they can't still alleviate it, and they have done ways to alleviate it. And I can see that they're experimenting, because in the most recent event with the Maple University thing, they gave up those rock spirit familiars, right? They give you 3 epic ones, and they all give you 3% attack and magic attack. And then if you progressed in the event and you participated, they would give you a unique one that came predetermined with like 35 ID and something else with it.
It was
so
basically just 35.
They are adding just like like guaranteed free ways to get like something useful without you having to have grinded for anything. But they're not like going like over the top with like just making it super like more accessible than it already is. That's why I think it's just like it's probably the way it is, just so that they can convert more casual players into being more invested into the game.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're that insightful though. Like, I don't even think they thought about that.
Maybe
like straight
maybe
up.
I'm giving them too much credit.
I really don't think they thought about that. I think they literally just have it the way it is, where it's farming. They haven't thought of any way to improve it, because we know that like they very much respond to like people's problems. And the thing with familiars is I don't think people have ever complained about them in a way that makes it so that like we can get them without farming. Like, I think everybody the most people kind of just accepted that the only way you get it is from farming, and then that's it, and it's like we just move on. But the thing that I like is I think farming should still be the main way to get them. Like, we know how hard it is to get good fams, whether it's boss fams or like a large drop. Like, it's mad hard to get that. Even if there's a weekly that gives you like 3, or a boss has a chance to give you some, it's like negligible in the grand scheme of things. But it's still a lot better than what it is right now, because getting a few cards a week versus 0 is a big difference. Like, that's a huge difference for people. It's the same way that like Soul Erda drops from bosses. Like, we know that the Soul Erda that drops from bosses is negligible. Like, it doesn't matter that much, but they still drop from bosses, meaning that like it can still help you. It can still help you get some Erda eventually. Like, look at Challenger World, for example. Like, there's been times where I was on Challenger World and that Erda helped, where it's like, you know, I got that couple Erda that helped me at least level up a skill. That's why I think they don't really lose much, even if they did want to structure the game that you just said, where it's like they want familiars to be like a bait so that you farm more. Having like a weekly quest or making bosses drop it, I don't think it takes away from it. It actually might add, it might actually add to it, because if you get a familiar that's good, like you get a large drop fam from a boss or something, maybe that makes you want to farm. Because you're like, oh, now I have large drop, like I could actually get a lot of frags. I could actually get a lot of fams from training.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think a large vocal majority of the people that have complaints about familiars is just making it so that boss fams are more accessible, which they have done, technically speaking. And we can get into that a little bit later. It's related, but like it's more in.
Oh yeah,
into,
the other topic. Yeah.
With our second topic, yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I think it'd be cool if they did add more ways to acquire familiars. And like, I think it does make sense for like, I think weekly bosses should start dropping more things.
I agree. I completely agree. That's a whole other conversation. That's like, I don't think you get enough from bossing. You know what's also crazy about fams is it's actually becoming more and more important to get good fams because of Mystic Frontier, because of Mystic Frontier champions. So because these fams are getting more important in your progression, you also need to get more of them. I think that's another reason why they need to draw from bosses too. Like, fams used to just give you stats. Now you like do whole ass like games and fight with them. Like, you need a lot of them. It's crazy.
Was there anything else you wanted to say about acquisition or tiering up and whatnot?
No, I mean, that's basically it, yeah.
Okay. Then the next thing I wanted to talk about was Mystic Frontier. So like, just to like quickly go over it, it's like you need 3 badges to unlock it. Like, you get shown 3 expeditions, and then you choose whichever one you want, or you can pay Maple points to re-roll it, so it re-rolls all 3 of them, and then the price of it goes up each time you do it until it resets for the day. So it's 300 Maple points, 500, 800, 1300, 2100, and then 3000 every other time after that. Like every time after that. So there is that is one aspect of like pay to win.
Yeah.
But from what I have seen so far, and from the people who are willing to pay for that, it doesn't really seem like it's worth it. Because even when you do get, even though you see more legendary and unique expeditions,
Mm-hmm.
just having the expedition at that tier isn't enough for you to actually expect anything in return. Because I have done like uh epic expeditions before, and I've gotten an orange pouch from that, and I've also had it tier up into a green pouch.
Mm-hmm.
So it, to me, it kind of feels like it's kind of like a little bit of whale bait again, kind
Mm-hmm.
of sprinkled over there. Um, it's also interesting that like this is like they thought of it, they thought of this aspect to like kind of make them spend money on it
Mm-hmm.
on this content. And speaking of spending money on this specific content, is that like you said before, like there's the breakthrough cards,
Yep.
which cost NX, and that allows you to so familiars are capped at level 5, right? But if you use one breakthrough card on it, it goes to level 6, and then you have to kill monsters to level it back up to 6 now. And if you use it again and you kill monsters again, it goes up to level 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the importance of going from 5 to 6 to 7 is that you get more AP. AP is the currency that you spend to do an expedition, and you have like 5 rounds. So if you wanted to participate in all 5 rounds without having to take a plus AP scenario, then you would have, you need to have like double or triple level 7 fams
Mm-hmm.
to do that, to always guarantee that 5 rounds you're getting a bag every time. Doesn't have to be, it should be any tier bag, but you're getting a bag every time if you do pay to win for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 5.9k NX per breakthrough, but
For
they
the
have
card, yeah.
had they have had sales before, like bundle sales. I think.
Yeah, they're trying to get you to buy it. Like
Mhm.
they're really trying to push you to buy it. Yeah.
And I have paid to win for it. I made a deck with just triple level 7, and I would say I have noticed it being useful,
Mm-hmm.
because for the times where I do have a legendary expedition run, um, it does like, it's pretty OP. But even though
breakthrough,
it's
yeah.
pretty OP, yeah, even though it's pretty OP, if you get 1 clock on a legendary run, you're screwed, no matter what.
You know what's I actually agree with everything that you're saying. I mean, that basically what you're saying is like, not only I agree, not only can this shit be pay to win, it's like not only not worth it, it's also like there's so much RNG in Mystic Frontier that makes it so it's like, bro, like, may God lead me, bro. Like there's nothing that I could do to really like make this have a consistent reward. You know what's funny though, is this is a pretty interesting topic because you do Mystic Frontier. I don't even do it. I actually don't even do the system at all. I
What?
did it and made a video on how to do it, and I never did it again. I probably opened like two rewards my whole life. And you want to know why I don't do it? I actually have a really good reason why I don't do Mystic Frontier. There is no progression to the system. There's no progression. It's just RNG. It's like doing Oz. It's literally like doing Oz. You have been doing it this whole time. I could do it right now and get a pitch box. I could.
Yeah.
How is that fair? How is that fair, right? You could do it 100 times, get nothing. I could do it once and get better rewards than you did in the last 100 times, right? Like, I feel like I don't want to waste my time on systems like that. Now, of course, if you keep doing it every day for a year, 2 years, you're going to eventually get stuff naturally, right? But it's like, it's annoying. Like, you have to remember to do it. You have to set it up. You have to deal with like the frustrations of not getting shit most of the time. I don't even want to deal with it. If Mystic Frontier gave you resources that were guaranteed every run, that were like coins that you can use in like the Frontier or Frontier shop or something, then I would do it every day, because you're guaranteed to get something. You're guaranteed that you can prog towards something. You can prog towards the Roro ring. You can prog towards the Roro nodes or something like that. But because it doesn't have anything like that, it doesn't make me want to do it. If it doesn't feel like I'm getting anything out of this, I could make my fams, make my decks, run 15 times in the week, and then walk away with like 10 bright cubes, and that's it, and just get nothing. Like, it doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel like it's something that's rewarding to me. That's why I just don't even bother doing it.
Yeah, no, I can see that. If the juice ain't worth the squeeze, is what they say, and I can see that's what
It's
you're
not.
saying
It's
right
not
now,
worth
right?
the squeeze. It's not worth the squeeze for me. Rather turn my brain off and never think about it.
Yeah, I think this is just. I think this is just another one of those things that you have adopted now because you're like not trying to like giga push for endgame. I think if you were someone,
Makes
if you were
sense.
still in my
Makes
shoes
sense.
and you still had that mentality, then like doing this every single day is a no-brainer, right? Because getting any extra pitch boss copy you would get from Mystic Frontier would be
Mm-hmm.
it could have been weeks or months saved because you don't know
That's
when
true.
it's going to drop naturally ever again, right?
Yeah.
So having more opportunities to, you know, re-roll go for 22, 23, 24, right? Like that's
Yeah.
to an end gamer that's invaluable. And this minor frustration and the whatever it is you're doing to pay to win is like to an end gamer like that's just nothing. That's a no-brainer. You would just do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do get it. I do know a lot of people who just straight up don't even interact with it because it's a whole ass content. Like your fams now have duality to it. Not only
Mm-hmm.
is it giving you stats for when you're bossing, but it's also relevant to your deck building for when you're doing Mystic Frontier. So I get it. There is a lot that you need to learn, and it is like very steep at the beginning. But once
Yeah.
you get to figure it out and whatever, like you just spend like 5 minutes every 8 hours minimum to interact with it.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I tell people to do it. It's better to do it. I just don't do it myself. Like I just don't care. You know what's interesting though? That another thing that I think, like, I just feel like it's just gonna get easier. Like they're gonna add a lot of quality of life to it eventually. So like, let's just wait until they do that. Basically, like that's how
Mm.
I feel about it. Like I feel like they're gonna add quality of life where it's like more automatic or something like that, and then whatever, you just set it up and not think about it. You collect your rewards, press go, and then you're good.
I kind of wonder if maybe instead of having like 3 decks you had to build,
Mm-hmm.
if it was only like 1 or 2 decks, if that would have made it more attractive to people.
I think it would. If it was just one deck, you had 3 fams, and then you always use that every single time, it's just less buttons to press, less UIs to go through, less things to remember. I really want it to be as simple as possible because they keep adding stuff to the game. Because now you have Mystic Frontier Champions as well, which is another thing you have to remember to go do. Because Mystic Frontier Champions, you can only interact with it through certain hours and certain days of the week. So you have to like remember to do it. I don't like that type of stuff. I would much rather have it like be as out of the way as possible.
Yeah,
Or
I think
not as out of the way, I mean.
I think this is just one of those unfortunate things of GMS where the idea is good, the execution is bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll get better. I'm optimistic. They be improving GMS shit. GMS exclusive shit. Look how much better Auto Harvest is now versus when it came out. Or Sia and Errol. How much better they got. Like, I think it'll get better. I think people just need to complain about it and it'll get better.
Yeah, that someone did bring up a good point that it does make it feel like when you tear up something unique and you reveal it and it just like some outlines you in black and gives you HP or something, but then you flip it around and you reveal it again, you see that oh, it's +3 and 1.4 times if you have the same type in your deck. Like
Yeah, that's
that does feel good though. Like it feels like something that was useless is now oh, this is pretty useful now
That
for
is
a
true.
different content. So yeah, that is something that we didn't mention, but that is something that is a good point to bring up. It does make it feel like the time you spent to make a unique fam has the double the value now, I guess, if you are participating in Mystic Frontier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something that we didn't really talk about too much was like the big ticket rewards that come with Mystic Frontier. So you have the pitch core, that's a really big one. Basically just lets you revive any of your pitch you have that have been exploded, so the trace. You have the pitch RNG box, which
Yep.
gives you any of the pitch that isn't TC.
Can you get an
and then you also
emblem
have
and a badge from it?
Oh, I don't think badge is included, but I think you can get emblem. I think.
Okay, because the Kai one you couldn't get emblem either.
Oh, okay. Maybe there's an emblem then, because I think the
Okay.
Kai one is just a reskin of the pitch box.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And then there's the Royal Rings, which we kind of talked about, but
Yeah.
yeah, the Royal Ring is actually it's pretty insane for people who care about maximizing their XP rates.
Yeah.
And it's so funny how much better each level you increase it by, because not only does the uptime go up, but the additive XP also goes up too.
Mm-hmm. It's like a roar.
Yeah, it's exactly it's like a
actual
strength.
roar. Yeah.
But I will say that while this ring is objectively good for giving you more EXP, it does come at the cost of you having to burn your familiars as fuel to keep feeding it.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable for you to use that ring and try to tier up familiars at the same time. Like you are foregoing that in order to get more EXP.
Yeah.
I don't have the actual number off the top of my head of like how much final XP it is to use a Royal Ring for. But it is a pretty sizable advantage compared to someone who doesn't have that, and both of their goals are to just grind for levels.
Wow. 30%.
Essentially, I remember someone saying that if you were 295 and you are also out of level range, right? Or I guess you would have to be 296. Sorry, if you were 296 and you decided to stay in, you decided to stay in Talahart in order to keep feeding Aurora 4. That's actually less XP compared to if you were to go to Geardrock and kill monsters within your level range, and that isn't also including like the potential burning that you would get as well.
Well, is Geardrock that much better? Like the bonus.
Geardrock is like that much better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The not only is like the base XP a lot better, but the fact that you have level advantage, right, which is another final percent XP multiplier on top of the potential burning that you would have too, and then also like kind of like because you're staying in Geardrock, you are progressing your symbol a little bit faster, so technically you're getting more XP from your symbol because you're progressing it faster. And
yeah, because you get the symbol drops.
Yeah, because the Geardrock symbol is also just a reskin of the Talahart symbol, giving you XP drop rate meso, which is super good, of course. But yeah, those are like the big ticket rewards. But the other rewards that you get from Mystic Frontier are also like still good. Like there's not the only thing that people get upset about really is just that if they get like an orange pouch or a green pouch, 9 times out of 10 it's usually just like a bright cube, and so people get upset because like, oh, why wasn't it a Royal Ring box or a Dawn box or whatever, or like a pitch box or whatever, like. But those things are still good. It's just that, relative to what you could have gotten, it feels bad to get like those cubes.
That's why it needs prog, bro. Like the system needs prog, where like if you do it for X amount of months in a row, like you get your item guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll consider doing stuff like that. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about, if there's nothing else to talk about for the rewards, was blue cards.
Blue cards, bro, that shit is like there's so many things to talk about that. First of all, like Inkwell needs to stop like being so greedy and only giving them through Inkwell notes, and also the Inkwell note rewards need to be power crept at this point. Like 30 blue cards, it's not enough anymore. Like we need like 100 blue cards from the Inkwell note, straight up.
It's funny you say that, because if you go back to every Inkwell note, it is getting power crept. Like they are increasing it.
I actually agree. I remember it used to be like 5 at first, and then it became 10, and then 20, and now it's 30. But like it's not enough. Like it's still not enough anymore. Like now we need 100. Like we should be at 100 now, according to the power creep. Also, blue cards, bro. Like, are we like, yo? This item has had such a weird ass history. Like, not only did it. Bro, remember the goo slime event that gave 5 red cards?
Yep.
Yep. So it's like, first of all, like they tried giving us red cards at one point and it didn't work out. They said they would give us more, then they didn't, by the way. And then now they're giving us blue cards that specific keep you at unique. And then they tried giving us blue cards by putting them in the shop, the fam shop. Like you could get like a couple of them or something like that. And then you just don't do that. And then now you pretty much only get them from events. And they even tried paywalling the blue cards with the Rock Spirit events, where you could pay $50 to get 10 blue cards and then pay another $50 to get another 10 blue cards. So it's like, they clearly know we want these things. Like, they very obviously know that, but they don't want to give it to us. They don't want to just, like, have a sustainable way to get the blue cards. They want them to be, like, you're either going to have to wait or pay to get them. Like, straight up. The passes, yes, the Shine Goddess passes, they have blue cards too. It's crazy.
Yeah. They're not very shy about monetizing or like paywalling the blue cards, or that's why it like it is annoying with how they are handling blue cards.
Yeah.
The way I see it, it's like it's kind of like our version of Rec server being annoyed with Frenzy Totem, because like Nexon, they made an alternative, which is Chains of Resentment. And then for us, like our version of like a Frenzy alternative would be blue cards, which is an alternative red cards. But the whole concept of blue card, red card isn't so much about. It's more about the core functionality of it allows you to reroll the stats of a current familiar you already have.
Mm-hmm.
And that feels way better than to have to scrounge up fams, level them up, tier them up, fail 13 times, tier it up on the 14th time so you don't even get to use the pity system, and then reveal it, and then it's outlines you in red. And
it's just like red and black are like a 30% chance of happening or some shit. It's like you're always going to get that.
Yeah. And then like, yes, with the blue cards, they do work in Legendary, which is like a whole different thing.
They don't work on Legendary.
They do.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
You can blue card a Legendary?
Yeah, if it's already Legendary, you can use it on a Legendary.
Oh,
I've been doing that.
What? Holy plot twist. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've been doing that the entire time, yeah.
This is crazy. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, like, this was something that I didn't even have written down, but Legendary cards in Heroic is such a weird thing.
You're saying not having them in Heroic is weird?
No, having them only available if you're incredibly lucky is weird.
Oh yeah, I agree. You should get yours taken away. I agree.
Okay,
I completely agree. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Okay, bro. But like getting back to the point, it's like, yeah, blue cards needs to be. They said that they were like, monitoring and like saying like they're keeping their eyes on it, but it's just like it isn't. I think they're just like they're very intentional with how they're just. They know, yeah, like you said, they know that we want it, so they're just giga paywalling it, or you have to go click on the Inky note and go claim your rewards inside in game.
Bro, it's actually just a tool to make us like Inkwell more. Swear to God, it's a tool. It's literally a tool to make us like Inkwell now. Bro, how many times do people, when the Inkwell note drops, they're like, just give me the rewards. They're like, let's go Inkwell note rewards. They don't even care about the future of the game. They just want the damn rewards. Like it's like. That's how it is, bro. That's the world we live in. And also, yes, like it all boils down to Reg server having red cards, and we get cooked because of them. That too.
I don't know about that. That might be a stretch.
But that's a whole ass conversation we could have. Is like how Reg and Reboot both harm each other, basically.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about Legendary fams. So in the past, when they first introduced it, the only way you could get a Legendary fan was when they gave you red cards from that Goo Slime event. But not only that, so that there was 5 that was given from that, I think. Or maybe it was already 3 or 5. But then later on, when they did another familiar rework, people like lost fams or whatever happened.
Yeah.
And as compensation for people who were affected by that, they gave out red cards
Yep.
again from that. So the key difference between red cards and blue cards, for people who don't know, is that red cards have an opportunity at a small chance to tier up your fam.
Yep.
So people who used it on their unique familiar, there was a chance they tiered up to legendary, and there are a handful of people that just have like the most random fams at legendary. Like you have like Castle Golem at legendary. Some people had a Junior Boogie at legendary, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy pointing at me. I have it. I have a legendary Lotus fam, but that's like a one-time thing. That was a one-time thing. After that, they first introduced it as something that can drop for Lotus, which is how I got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got one from Lotus when they first introduced it. Right after I got it, like 2 to 3 weeks later, they decided, okay, no more. We're not. This is not dropping as legendary
This
anymore.
is the luckiest person in the game.
So it still drops, but it's unique only. And also, I'm not the only person in Reboot that has one. There's someone else that has it, and it's like, I remember it being hybrid too. So the fact that I have one, yes, it's lucky, but they have like a Giga one. But anyways, today, current day MapleStory, can you still get a legendary fam? Yes. Who do you have to defeat to get it? Pino.
No.
Princess? No. Princess No to this day still has an opportunity to drop it. And that is the only way to get it in Heroic.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a legendary fam, that is the only way you can get it.
What about Pap?
Pap drops unique only.
Can't clear that shit, bro.
Pap drops unique fam from normal and from hard, by the way. Or chaos, sorry. So, but yeah, I think it's really weird that you have to have incredible luck in order to get a legendary fam in current day MapleStory. Like if you were a fresh account and you just started playing today, if you want a legendary fam, that's your only way of getting it. Doing Pino.
Yep. Shit's ridiculous.
I guess the final thing that I wanted to talk about for this topic was quality of life that we would like to see.
Yeah.
You kind of touched upon it, but if you want to talk about it again, and then I'll add my things as well afterwards.
The pity needs to be lowered. That's 1. 2, they need to make fams easier to get. Attach it to a quest that gives you a certain amount every week, or make bosses drop them, or both. Bosses have a chance to drop them as well. So we need that. The shop for familiars needs to be better. Like, what do you even buy in there? Like gas and gas. That shit shouldn't even expire. It shouldn't even have a gauge. Like the 2000 gauge, it really shouldn't even have that period. If we're really pushing it, you shouldn't even have to level up the fams. Straight up. Like, it's an unnecessary process. Like, it should just be, you get the damn fam, you farm the spares, and then you put the spares into the fam, and then you upgrade, and then it gets a chance to upgrade. It needs all of these things. Like, the whole process of getting to unique takes too damn long for how many fams you need. You need hundreds, thousands. You need thousands of fams to get everything that you need for not only Mystic Frontier, you need it for Mystic Frontier Champions now too, and you need all of your fams for just bossing stats in general. Top of that, attack is becoming more valuable than boss in the future. So people are going to have to refarm their fams to also get attack fams too. This is like a super future play. They did help a little with the badges. Also, the badges take too goddamn long to get, but whatever. Like, it's not the end of the world. They made it so badges are or the slots are universal, which is really nice. Like, that is something that helps a lot. I'm not gonna go so far as to say fams should be universal. Like, if you have 120 boss fams on your main, you just have it on all your characters. I don't think it needs to be like that, as long as they all are also easier to get on other characters. Like, for example, if they drop from bosses or there's a quest, you can do that on your side character, and then your side character can also prog fams through that. If they did make it like that, where like the fam stats are a universal stat, I don't have anything against it. But the reason why I'm not like super gung-ho about like, hey, like all the fam stats should be universal is because your other characters don't even need them. Like, it's not something that actually matters necessarily. That's why I'm not like super for it or pushing it like a super extra. Like it's really like a thing for your main. That's fine. Not everything for your main has to also be for your side characters too. Um, that's basically it for fans. Like that's what I could think of essentially for the quality of life.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Some things that I would add is that
Mm-hmm.
I think Inkwell just needs to go ahead and say like, uh, again, like we won't know yet, but when we see the patch notes, we'll find out if there is FAMs or not in Gear Dog. But I
Oh
think
yeah,
Inkwell
of
just really
course.
needs to confirm that moving forward, each area will be getting it instead of like having this any room of speculation in the first place.
That's
Now,
a
I know you said
communication
before,
issue.
yeah, that is a communication issue, but like that is also quality of life.
Yeah.
So, you said earlier before that uh oh crap, I'm forgetting. Uh, hold on, brain farting. You said before that even if we don't get it frame one, day one of the patch, that they'll probably will add it later on, like maybe a
Mm-hmm.
month or two later.
I believe that. Yeah, I think they would.
Under the circumstances that's what happened, right? We didn't have a day one, and then they would add it later. I think
Yeah,
that would it's probably something they would do also, but it's just like at the same time, like why is there like this delay in the first place,
I agree.
right?
It shouldn't be a delay.
It's like really it's really weird. Again, like we're speculating. This isn't actually how it's going to happen. We won't know until we know. But it would be nice if there wasn't any room for the speculation in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I think badges should be per world, not per character.
I'm okay with
Like you
that.
said,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
you did spend a lot of time to get these badges, and like technically speaking, outside of the ones that are like booster pack only, when you are farming those, like getting the familiars, just like a pro tip, you should just farm more than one copy anyways, because if you feel like in the future you're gonna be playing a new character, just having that already in your storage to just give it to the new character, you can just get them 10 badges like right away instead of having to refarm it in that moment, right? But at the same time, right, when you make new characters these days, you're probably only making them on challenge roll anyways, which you're kind of forced to
A new
get.
funded character. Yeah.
Yeah, if you were funding a new character to like from challenge roll, like you're forced to just get it yourself there anyways. Like any pre-farming you done on Chronos or Hyperion is like irrelevant, right?
Mm-hmm.
But disregarding that, I think badges should just be per world, not per character. I don't think it'd be really crazy if they added that. It's just super annoying for like mages, honestly, or any character that requires you to have like a badge only fan.
You know what's another thing that's annoying about getting those badges is like those maps are not designed around like getting a drop. Like
Yeah, there's like only like two monsters
there's like
in the
two
map or
mobs in the
something.
map, yeah, or like five mobs. It's like it actually just takes forever, even if you have high drop. Like
The
it's
starter
very
badge,
inconsistent.
the starter badge actually takes longer to complete than if you were like in Cernium.
Yeah, or you go get like the labyrinth badge or something. Those are faster than getting like the Rien badge, the Mururus.
Another thing that I want would be nice would be a toggle for auto tiering up. Like the moment it's level 5, just feed it and tier it up. The less clicks I have to interact with opening up the familiar menu,
Dude, I
would
agree,
be so
bro.
nice.
I agree. There's
Like
too
there
many
just needs to
damn
be a
clicks.
toggle. Like just toggle it. Like okay, toggle auto feed to this familiar. Toggle auto level up and tier up. And I just keep killing monsters and that's it. Don't have to worry about it. I open up. Oh, unique thing. Reveal. It's garbage. On the next one. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing. This is so dumb, but Mystic Frontier can only be done when you're in town. However, for some stupid reason,
That's
you
funny. I
can
forgot about
bypass that if you access it from the notification.
Oh, that's
So like,
that's actually crazy. That's actually crazy.
why is this even a thing? And like, in like the most common like Nexon way of how they would probably like handle this, unironically, they might just make it so that you can't do that anymore instead of just making it so you can access it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Which was
That
me
shit
like
is crazy.
the wrong way to fix something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, I forgot to also I said this earlier, but I forgot to also say like I need fam anvils. That's
Oh
like
yeah.
that's actually more important to me than anything else. Straight up, I need fam
So
anvils.
I kind of talked about this yesterday on my own stream because someone mentioned it, and I told them that we're probably not going to get it because I'm pretty sure to this day they still regularly release like those familiar booster packs on Rec server that like adds like the new areas into that pool and adds like new bosses. Like you know how like you can have like Saren and like Dark now as a familiar in Rec server. Like with like there's probably going to point where there's going to be a point in time where they probably add like Dark Star as a boss that you can have as a familiar, and then it'll sell that as a booster pack. So I think because this is just like a consistent streamline of things that they can sell, they probably will not add familiar anvils because of that.
I don't care. Like I'm gonna keep saying like they need to add this shit. Like they need to add a system that I can use whatever fam I want and get the stats instead of these same ugly ass fams. Like it makes the game uglier. It makes people not want to play the game. I'll just like frame it like that, straight up.
True. No, I do want familiar anvils though. That would be really nice. But I've we'll just have to see because it does exist from in TMS, but TMS also has like a completely
they have a different system.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Bro,
but
how hard would it even take to develop something like that? Like, let me transfer the stats to another fam. Like, it could be something like that. If I get a unique, like, orange mushroom, then I could transfer the stats to that.
Listen. It is hard because when I was on PTS, right, and I did the Mystic Frontier Champion thing, you know how like you had to like 1v1 other players?
Yeah.
You did a dice roll? Every time you clicked on a dice roll to see your result, the stupid screen would flash yellow. Every single time you did a dice roll, it would just flash yellow. Like, why are you getting flashbanged while you're doing this content? That was one of the first things that I reported on the PTS bug report or like suggestions was like, get rid of that. Why is that a thing? Why does that have to keep fucking flashbanging me every time you roll a dice?
Bro, if that stays, that's reason enough for me to not do it. Straight up. Like something as inconvenient as that.
I hope it's not like that still, because like it's just so unnecessary. And then the last and final thing that I have is just like make blue cards more accessible. Like stop with this like weird ass like Inkwell note only or like pay wallet behind Shine Pass, Gold Goddess Pass, or the Rock Spirit thing. The Rock Spirit thing is the worst because like it's like a daily check-in too.
It's straight up shameless. Like $50 for 10, and then another $50 for 10, and then you have to wait 30 days.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait to get it.
Dude.
So you're paying just to wait to get it. It's like, it's shameless, bro. Have some shame, bro. Deadass.
But yeah, that's about all I really have to say about familiars currently. So if you have nothing else that you want to talk about or tackle, then
that's
we can
about
leave
it.
the floor. Well, we'll have like 5 to 10 minutes right now, and we'll interact with chat finally, guys. Before we move on to our second topic. So,
bro,
if you guys have any questions or whatever you guys wanted to ask, now's the time.
Dude, it's been an hour.
Yeah, it's like perfectly an hour. I think it's good.
Hour per topic. That's funny. Hi.
And that means we're gonna have like 2 WAPs worth of content, dude.
I've been reading the chat like the whole time.
Yeah, I've been like perusing it as well.
What they say.
Nice hat, thank you. Do you fuck with Travis Scott? I get those goosebumps every time, man.
Y'all summed it up pretty good. Oh, it's because like I be thinking about this shit type shit. Shit's annoying. Shit that pisses me off about Maple type shit. Look, he thought Tommy was gonna... Okay, I'm not reading that. If they want us to love Altia, make her put the blue cards in the bag. No, I agree. I mean, I love Altia now. She gave me frags. But I hated her before. But I love her now. Fams could just not exist and the game would be better.
I wish Fams would just give you the effects without having to be summoned.
Yeah.
Dude, if that was a thing, DB wouldn't even have to be bugged anymore, dude. Holy crap.
And then you could switch back.
Right! True. That's definitely worthy of me swapping back for, dude.
Then you swap back. I think Fam's dropping from boss or even getting blue cards boss would be great. I agree. Dude, be honest, do you regret it? Tommy, do you regret?
I get those questions so often, man. I can't even tell if it's like ironic anymore. Like they're just doing it, just like poke at me, just chirping, dude.
If Classic fails, how much worse do you think Modern will be to compensate the failure? It's not gonna affect anything.
Dude, I want to play Classic. I didn't sign up for the beta because
you want to play it, but you didn't sign up for the beta.
Listen, okay, because the beta is going to be happening during the Ultimate Haste event, and I gotta do what I gotta do on Modern first.
You're not OG like me in the chat, bro. You're not OG like me in the chat. That's why. You're not about it. Bro. You're not about to grind like that, bro. Keep grinding your Modern Maple, bro.
My interest in playing Classic solely hinges on the fact if I have a group to play with or not. But everyone I've asked so far, they already have an established group, so I'm just like, fuck, bro. I guess I'm just not playing.
Saddy.
I'm left out. Let's see.
I will play with you, Tommy.
We'll see. I do want to give it a try when it's officially when it comes up with the release date, which they'll probably talk about during MapleCon, right? So not too long from now, right?
If we even get a MapleCon. Yep.
You don't? No, there's no way they wouldn't.
If we even get one. As of right now, it's up in the air. As of right now, it's up in the air.
You know what would be problematic, though, is if it shares the same client. Then you can play both at the same time.
If you can't play both, it's doomed. Like I'm gonna doom.
What are blue and red cards? Blue and red cards are basically the equivalent of using cubes on your familiar to reroll the stats. Blue cards like your glowing cube, and then red cards like your bright cube. Except you can't get to keep... There's no before and after. It's just chance to tier up is higher.
You want to move on to the next topic?
What are we doing?
What do you mean? What are we doing?
Yeah, hold on. If that's how we're playing, dude, give me a sec.
What the fuck? This guy hit his cam. This guy's cheating on the exam.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on to the next topic.
Okay. What? This guy changed his hat. Why you got a New York hat on? What the hell?
I don't know what you're talking about.
This guy changed his hat. This guy literally put on a New York hat. Nah, shout out, bro. That's how goated New York is even Canadians got a hat for New York. Like, that's how goated New York is. Straight up.
No, that's fucking crazy, dude.
Straight up.
That's crazy.
That's how goated it is. All right, let's move on to the next topic.
Yes, sir.
All right, familiars. Next topic. You guys are gonna like this one. You guys are gonna like this one. Boom. Rigged rates. Drama. Drama. Rigged rates, bro. Rigged rates. Bro, this game with its rigged ass rates. Every patch, there is something broken. Now, I want to make it clear that these rigged rates that I'm talking about, I'm not talking about like when people get unlucky. I'm talking about like shit actually doesn't work. Like it actually just doesn't even work. It actually just doesn't even work. Remember in Challenge World 2 when arcane box drops were actually nerfed? For no reason, like for literally no reason, they nerfed them. And then I made a video about it, calling it out, and then they fixed it, right? You're welcome. Yeah, I'm taking credit. You're welcome. Bro, the fact that they, like, shit like this happens all the time. Challenger World 3, Miracle Time didn't even work. Miracle Time. People are buying cubes with real, what the hell? With real, oh my god, with real money, and it didn't even work. Rolling the same pot 2 times in a row. I swear to God, you could still do that. I swear to God, you could still roll the same pot 2 times in a row, even though they said they changed it. But you could still do that. I swear to God, you can. Like, I thought that got removed. Like, what are we talking about here? Bro, I'm telling you, this game has so many broken ass rates that literally don't work. They're falsely advertised. Obviously, not to mention like the big one, like the flame scandal and the honor scandal from back in 2021. Like that was like the big one. But like, bro, this game, so it's always broken. Like the rates are always broken. They break and they just waste your time. And then the compensation you get is never like equal to all the time and money you wasted. It's never equal. It's never. You know what's crazy is equal isn't even the comp. Equal is just being made whole again. You don't even get a comp on top of being made whole again. You just don't even get made whole again. You just get like some bullshit and then they ignore you forever. Like it's actually the most ridiculous thing ever is all these broken ass rates in this game. It's frustrating, bro. It's hard to like care because you just know shit's gonna be. Yo, how many times, bro? How many times in just this Challenger World 3 did people get fucked by like broken rates or DMT not working or like something being unstable and then you just quit? It's like, what's the point? Like they can't even offer the same service. I got fucked 3 times. Exactly, right? And so there's this part of the conversation. The other part of the conversation is API. Is the open API. If you don't know what the open API is, basically what Korea has is their API for the game, just to put it in like normal human terms, not like computer science MapleStory terms, just to put it into like, so for everybody understands, if you have access to the game's API, you can basically verify different things on your own. You can verify different things happening in real time on your own. So there's websites that Korea has, or the game even partners with, like Maple Scouter, that can access the game's data, basically, and it updates in real time, and you could do things like verify the rates. You can like verify the rates of anything RNG, or you could see like somebody's equips, and you can see somebody's equips changing in real time, stuff like that. So that makes it so that if something's broken, they can immediately tell what it is right away, and people can prove it as well. And you know you're not getting screwed. But we don't have that. We don't have open API on our server. Other servers have it, but not us. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories that add to the open API. Like, for example, open API could expose certain rogue GMs spawning in items. Like, it could do that. It could literally do that. I'm not even joking. It can expose these like backdoor deals of certain items that are being spawned into reg server that should be impossible to spawn in. I'm not even joking. Like, it sounds dramatic, but stuff like that happens on this game. So it could be a reason why we don't have an open API. I'm not even trolling. I'm actually not even trolling. But yeah, I mean, you could give your thoughts on rigged rates. I think it's ridiculous. Like, this is one of the things that is crazy that's still going on to this day.
I wanted to point out that I think up until this topic happened, we did not swear once. That's how serious this topic is.
Because it's frustrating. You're wasting people's time and money. Like, that's the worst thing that the game could do, is waste your time and money. Of course, it's very serious. You're falsely advertising.
Yeah. The first thing that I wanted to talk about, because something that happened very recently, was the familiar potentials, right?
Mm-hmm.
We kind of already knew about it, based on Mason, a player from Heroic. He has like a website where he has like all of the familiars of potentials available and all the other stuff that are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the boss fans. Oh yeah, link the website.
Yeah, the boss.
I forgot about that.
we kind of knew based on Mason's data mining that they removed the 30% and 35% boss line, so that
Yep.
if you were to roll boss at all, it's always going to be 40% on the top line.
Yep.
But you can still get 30% on the bottom line, of course, and 20% because those are boss lines you can roll from Epic. And on the
Yep.
bottom line, it can roll like the previous tier's stats. And then there's also the low chance of you hitting the double prime where 40/40 can exist on the familiar too.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly, like because he had that passion and was curious, and he went through the data mining to see this stuff. That's how we knew that they got rid of those lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know you can learn more about like the specifics of the familiar thing. Let me link it real quick for people who wanted to know about this. But essentially, technically speaking, the appearance of 40% boss is higher now, but the appearance of boss in general is lower, I think.
Yep.
Because you can't roll 30/35 anymore, right?
Yep.
And what's so funny about this is that we only really knew about this because other people who were passionate about this and were also curious, they started recording their own data and kind of like, you know, pulling together to figure out what kind of trends they're seeing and whatnot.
Yep.
And that's where we learned that, you know, there's something different with these fams now. And these are things that Nexon didn't feel like they needed to disclose to us.
Mm-hmm.
And they only addressed it because there was so much traction that came from this Reddit post.
Yep.
From these people that you know, brought this data together for us to, like, you know, look and speculate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is just one of the many examples where when Nexon changes something about the game, they don't necessarily have to or feel like they need to tell us about this.
Nope, they're
Right?
sneaky.
And sometimes, you know, they play it off. Like, we will never know, but they play it off as if, oh, we didn't know that this happened, right? Just
Yep.
like how what happened with the arcane boxes that you mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know that something changed within the game for the arcane boxes to have a lower drop rate, right? And let me find it right here. I think I have it. I don't have the memo for it, but they did address it, and they did find that yes, there is unintentional changes that affected the drop rate of arcane armors and weapon boxes, and their way of compensating for that was like a month-long event where
Mm-hmm.
there's just a higher drop rate for that now. It was just like, you know what? It's just like no compensation they could have done would have really reversed any damages that could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much about the fact that, you know, arcane armors were lower. It's the fact that this was something that happened and no one knew until we kind of like vibe checked it. Like we
Yep.
felt like things were different. No one was actually like actively like meticulously, you know, recording data of that. Oh, I did this many boss meals. They have like this kind of drop rate, and I didn't got any arcane armors versus before this patch, right? Like no one was diligently doing that. It's just kind of vibe based, which is basically what happened before with Miracle Time. Miracle Time was also vibe based. I don't think anyone was actually like looking at the data to see
Yep.
that, oh, Miracle Time is not working right now. But enough people who play this game enough realize that, yo, this is kind of taking like too many cubes to tier up.
Yep.
Like,
It was
what's going on
sus. It was very sus.
Right?
Because you could just tell.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to things that are less obvious compared to like arcane armor boxes and cubing events, like what about all the other things where there's hidden rates that we don't necessarily know about,
Mm-hmm.
right? And unless we as a community, you know, do the data recording ourselves and put in that effort to like kind of like, you know, be like audit the game basically, like Nexon's not really going to be the ones to
Nah,
put the
they're
foot
not.
forward first, right?
Nope. They're not
So
like that. They're not in our best interest. They're not on our side.
that's why like this whole string of like rate related things just being incorrect is just like a big eye opener for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like, guys, like if we think we're getting cheated, they're not going to tell us that. We have to like kind of like figure it out ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if we as a community will have a paradigm shift of just recording everything. But that obviously is just like so time consuming.
I doubt it. People are just gonna forget. People forget quickly. That's what always happens.
Yeah, I think so too. But which is unfortunate, but that's just it is what it is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why only like a few people who are dedicated to this, anyways, and we're passionate enough to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The truth seekers, you could say. Right?
Yep.
The things that I wanted to show basically was basically this isn't a one-time thing, right? So I have here another Maple memo from when they messed up the rates for Philosopher Stones or Philosopher books,
Mm-hmm.
right? They had incorrect rates. They were giving out incorrect items, right? And the only you had to rely on Nexon to publish the rates and the item list on their website, right? So the fact that they pushed this to their website and they didn't review it to make sure that this, the Philo books are actually giving what they're supposed to give, and then people paid for it, and then they got screwed, right? They did eventually, after some backlash, thanks to like Copper Sand and other YouTubers who made videos about it and Reddit posts, they did eventually give like full refunds for people who bought this stuff, by the way. But like the fact that like it's like pulling teeth for something so basic as to, yeah, you should refund this, you fucked up.
Yep.
It's not a good look. It's not a good sign.
You know what's crazy is a refund is not enough though. Like that refund is not a comp. That's just
it's the bare minimum.
Yeah, it's just being made whole again. That's not even a comp. It's just getting refunded. Like usually, bro, imagine if you went to a restaurant, right? They'll comp your meal and then they'll give you like, hey, you know what? Like here's this dessert on the house, bro. Here's the dessert, just for the trouble, right? Nexon does not do that, bro. They never do that shit.
Nexon is very, very stingy with compensation. It's really weird.
Bro.
It is
They're so
weird.
stingy. It's crazy.
Another issue that was also rather recent was the star spec boxes, right? People also kind of vibe checked it, like, hey, it feels like it's taking way longer to cap star spec boxes now. Like, what's going on here, right? And so, eventually, Nexon did come out and say, hey, you guys were right. There was some unintended changes to the rates of star spec boxes, and where we fixed it now. And then their compensation was like what does it say here? They gave us 10 shining star specs and 15 star spec boxes as compensation.
Literally nothing.
Like they're so stingy with compensation for some reason. I don't get it. And yes, going back to even further, when you mentioned like the whole flame scandal and invulnerability, what else was there? There was
arcane
I think
boxes.
There was
flame scandal, invulnerability, arcane boxes, DMT.
There was the cash up items that were gender locked that you couldn't roll.
Yeah. Oh, that was another thing. Yeah. Dude, that one was crazy. That one was crazy. I got refunded like so much.
I got back like 700k Maple points. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was actually insane.
It was crazy. But yeah, like the difference with those scandals from back then was that it happened in Korea.
Yeah, it did.
So that made like the rounds to all the MapleStory localized versions, right? But for this stuff that we just talked about recently with the rig rates with like DMT not working properly, Shining Star Force 19 to 20 star giving like not working properly too, the star spec boxes, arcane boxes, familiar lines, like all these things are localized in GMS. So that's why like the compensation compared to back then when it affected Korea first, compared to these things that affect us, is so minimal, and like it doesn't even begin to scratch the surface as to what they should have fixed, right, and prevented. So going back to what you said about like how Korea has open API, I believe doesn't MapleSea also have it too? I think
I'm not sure.
GMS as well.
I'm not sure.
But Korea definitely has it, and what's so funny about this is, let me pull this up by the way.
Oh, they do. That's crazy.
Is that in this Maple memo that I'm about to link in chat again, they talk about the real-time monitoring system that they will implement and they will
Whoa.
continue to update us
No way.
as it's getting prepared and ready to be released. And this
No
was
way.
back in 2021,
No
April 5th,
way.
2021. It's been a long time since they talked about how they were going to implement this into the game, and we still don't have it, by the way, guys.
No
And this
way.
real-time monitoring system is what's supposed to prevent these things from happening, to prevent these things from going under the radar and going live, right? And this brings me to my next point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be linking more stuff in the chat again, is that Nexon is falling upwards.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
in
they do. They actually do
like
that.
they make mistakes, but they also still succeed, but they make mistakes, but then they still succeed. And one of the examples that I would talk about often in my own stream is that in this memo, if you control F client or crash, what's the first thing you see? Magic of Memories damage skin would sometimes crash the client,
Yep.
right? Okay, fine. You have this damage skin that crashed the game, whatever, bro. Like, you fix it and then you move on and then whatever. But then, right? That was version 255, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So now I have this other Maple memo 5 motherfucking patches later, bro. That same damage skin is still causing people to crash,
No way. I'm clicking it.
right?
5 months
5
later.
patches later, 5 versions later, it's still crashing people again, right? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And again, I'm gonna link another
Wait,
Maple
where is
memo.
it? Wait, hold on. What's this damn machine called again?
Magic of Memories.
Yo, how is that possible? How is
Okay.
it possible?
This is from version 256, so one patch uh after the original damage skin issue, right?
Yeah.
Another damage skin, dark maple mist damage skin would sometimes cause the client to crash. Another
Dark.
damage skin.
Oh my god.
And then one more time. Again, one more time. I
What the
promise
heck?
I'll get to the point very soon. One more time. Version 266. 6 patches after the fact that the previous damage skin was having issues with people crashing. There is still a new damage skin that would cause people to crash again, which
This is
is the
insane.
discount coupon damage skin. So why am I bringing this up, guys? It's because when us as people, right, and as intelligent beings, when we make a mistake, we think about how we can move forward to prevent that mistake from happening again. We
Yep.
have a prevention plan to avoid this mistake so that doesn't happen again, right? Next one, you've had 4 fucking patches now with the same and different damage skins that are causing people to crash. You would think that at some point you would just playtest these damage skins so that people won't crash when they play this game live, right? So
Bro.
there's obviously a internal culture of there's no prevention. If they make the same mistake, they make the same mistake. They don't have any force as to prevent this from happening again. Which is my biggest criticism for this company is that when you make a mistake, there doesn't seem to be any plans of them trying to prevent it again. They
I
will just
agree.
keep making it over and over and over and over again. There's no. It doesn't seem like they care that they keep making the same mistakes as well.
And you know what's also crazy is this actually gives you a really good glimpse at their internal structure, like you said, right? Like they're gonna keep making the mistake, but it shows that they don't have like good communication on the inside, bro. Because it's probably different people working on the same shit over the years, right? Like it's probably different groups that are like constantly working on this, and they never like learn from it. It's so funny. They actually just don't even learn from this shit. How do you make the same mistake 4 times in a row?
And 2 of them being the same damage skin.
That's crazy. It's actually crazy. That actually blew
So
my mind, bro. That actually blew my mind.
yeah, like this is just one example too. There's many other examples where Nexon keeps making the same mistake, but they haven't done anything to have like an internal team meeting. Like, hey, like we can't keep guys, we keep making the same mistake. How come that keeps happening? There's no one keeping tabs to like make sure that this doesn't happen when we go to live,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like these discussions don't seem to happen. Or I might go on a limb here. Okay, maybe the turnover rate at Nexon is just so bad that
Yeah, they just don't even like.
when they teach the current employees, they're already long gone after the fact, and then the new guys don't know that this is a
Dude, that's what I
reoccurring problem.
actually think. Like, I actually think that's it. Like, the turnover rate's just that crazy.
And probably, maybe, who knows? Because I did mention this before. This is kind of unrelated. This is kind of going off topic, but Nexon, when they first like announced the whole Go West thing in like MapleStory Classic and whatnot, they did try to hire positions in North America,
Mm-hmm.
but the pay was so bad, and the responsibilities and what was being asked of people were so great that no one took up that job. So they had no choice but to hire people in Korea instead.
Yep.
Like no one in NA was like, yeah, I'm gonna take that job. They literally don't have a full NA team. The
Yep.
GMS team is made up of people they hired in Korea.
Yep.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the turnover rate is just actually that awful at Nexon that these same mistakes are slipping by because of that.
Yep. Dude, what do you think of the event buffs ending earlier? That's actually like a rigged scam too.
Yeah,
Like, that's false
the
advertising, bro.
it's it's so crazy because I don't know if I heard anyone follow up on that, if they got any refunds. But essentially, what we're talking about, guys, is that there was an event that we had, and they said the event stats would last a week into the next patch.
Mm-hmm.
But you log on to the game and your event stats aren't there. And so instead of fixing that, they just said, sorry guys, we can't do anything about it. Which means anyone that paid to have extra event stats sooner, you just got screwed.
That was me.
You lost a week of your stats earlier than what they said they were going to be.
They actually did give a comp, but it was shit. It was a shit ass comp.
It should have just been a refund.
And more. And a comp.
But yeah, that's like that's the whole thing with like rigged rates. Like it, we are still the only server, as far as I know, that has not published rates for anything
Yep.
outside of like it. And when they do publish their rates, it's wrong. Like the philo books.
Yeah, they
Like
literally have the wrong rates, yeah. Like, it's actually ridiculous. Bro, like, this is shit that wouldn't fly in other companies, by the way. Like, this shit wouldn't fly.
this is why I'm saying like Nexon falls upwards, bro. Like
Yeah, they
because
do.
Korea is literally carrying MapleStory on its back, and we're just piggybacking off of them. For a copy and paste region that GMS is, how is GMS so shit at copy and pasting?
Because we have other shit that conflicts. We have like systems that don't work the same as Korea. So that's what I think. I think Nexon America is very incompetent for how large of a company they are. I think that's really what it boils down to. They
Yeah,
don't
like this.
they don't have
This
the talent to support the game they want. Straight up. Not good.
I hope that for the people who are looking forward to MapleStory Classic, that you guys don't experience what we experienced.
I agree, bro. I hope you guys get like somehow you guys get like the Avengers level like dev team, bro. I
I will
really hope
be
so.
sour and envious, but I don't wish upon this experience to anyone.
That ass.
But yeah, the main thing was just like I just really wanted to show everyone that Nexon is. This is just one example of Nexon making the same mistakes and having no prevention plans to double check that this isn't something that happens ever again, but it just keeps happening.
Yep.
And also like with the rigged rates, like they're not going to be the first person to tell us that something's wrong, unless it's like really legally like illegal.
I think that's actually why they posted the notice on the FAMs, just to cover their butts legally.
It's so funny because like I think their wording was like, oh, we the way their tone of that Maple memo was like they're doing us a favor.
Yeah, it was very confusing to read, straight up. I think it was perfectly crafted to be that way.
It's like, yeah, we did remove those lines, but we did make 40% boss better, so you're welcome.
Yeah,
Like, what? What is with that tone?
it's weird. Very weird. They need to turn this into Korea already.
Did you have anything else to say about rigged rates, or anything else you want to add to it?
That's about it. You covered everything that I would have said as well.
Okay, I
That's
guess we
about
can
it.
have
This shit's
a
ridiculous.
couple minutes to talk of chat before we move on to the next topic. Then,
Yeah.
what do you guys have to ask us? We're
Bro,
reading now. I mean, we've
bro,
been reading, but
Covidicus the 19th, bro. I'm telling you, like that's actually like a real thing. Like, there are items in Reg server that are impossible. They can't exist. Like they're clearly spawned in somehow, or hacked in somehow. Like, you know what I mean? Like with API, you're able to see that. Another thing that like Big G mentioned one time was like in Reg server, they have like duping. They have a lot of duping in Reg server where you can bot like a duped, like lucid earring or some shit, right? And if there's open API, you can see these items increasing or decreasing total in the pool. Like the API tells you how many, it tells you like how many items exist essentially. And if it's like all of a sudden there's more frenzy totems that exist and there's no frenzy sale, like how does that work, right? Like I think open API would cause GMS more trouble than they're willing to deal with, so they don't want to deal with it straight up. I think that's why.
maybe. But going back to what you said before, I think the actual reason is just like this project's too large for them.
It's possible. It could just be too large of a project, but I mean, I think it's too important. Like they have to prioritize that. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of angles you could look at this. It's like there's also Maple Classic, and it's like that's clearly taking up all their time too. I've been saying this for a while, but I think Nexon just put too much on their plate. They're biting off more they can chew. I think that's a big problem with Nexon America. They're trying to make Heroic good. They're trying to make Interactive good. They're trying to make Classic, which is a whole new game. Like, they have a lot. They're doing a lot. Yep. They need to, like, double the workforce for the game. Like, straight up.
Yeah, but there's also like the turnover rates probably being really bad too.
Well, because they pay like shit. If you look at what their hiring rates are, like, it's literally half of the industry standard in that area.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, who would go work there? No one.
But I think also, like, even if you were paying well, like, the work culture is probably just dog shit too.
That's what I heard too from people that work there. Is their culture there is horrible. They're like famous in that area for like game studios. They're famously known as like the worst fucking place to work, basically. I would low-key spawn shit in if I was getting paid by some rich-ass reg player. I'd do that shit too, low-key.
Alright. I'm ready to move on to the next topic.
Alright, let's move on to the next topic.
Whew, this is a big one.
This is a big one?
Yeah.
I feel like this is not a big one. I feel like this is not a big one. Like, I don't... I mean, maybe you could surprise you. I just don't have much to say about this. I feel like this is like a very, like, yeah, like we get it type shit. I think the one after this is a bigger one. Like, that's like a really big one. That's like really important.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. All good.
Wait, hold on. Export. I think this is important though, but I just like yeah, whatever, they'll see it. You guys ready? Bang. Non-KMS versus KMS classes. Chills. Holy chills, bro. Holy chills. Do you want to start or I can start?
You can start.
Okay, so for those who don't know, there is a huge class disparity between Korean classes, which are the majority of the classes, versus non-Korean classes. The non-Korean classes are Hayato and Kana, Sia, Estelle, and Errol Light, and Lin and Moshen. Those 6 classes in particular are way stronger. And not just damage-wise. Like, they're stronger damage-wise as well. But they're stronger also because of other things they can offer, like support too, than every other class in the game. And it's so much to the point that your progression speed... Whoa, my chair. Your progression speed straight up is just way faster. Like, it is just way faster on these characters. And what that means is you can accomplish more for less. You could just straight up accomplish more for less. Look at Challenge World 3. Challenge World 3 is probably the biggest example of this. How many Haidos were there in Challenge World 3? How many Errols are there in Challenge World 3? All the numbers that you hear about them. Like, how much CP did this Errol do normal Serenat? How much did they do hard Serenat? Hard Kai, normal Kai, Black Mage. The numbers are always way less. Way less than the typical Korean classes. I myself am playing Kali and Kane, which are 2 pretty good Korean classes, especially Kali. And comparing myself to Hayato, comparing myself to Errol, night and day difference. Like, they're doing it way faster than everything. Even non-experienced players that play Hayato and Errol. Like, of course, I've been playing the game for years. I know how to do all the bosses, right? But even with my unlimited experience and wisdom, I can't make up that gap. I can't make it up. And that's even in an early game setting, by the way. That's even in an early game setting. We're not even talking about in the end game setting where the disparity actually truly matters a lot. So there's that aspect that makes the non-KMS versus KMS classes like fucked up. Even within the KMS classes themselves, the balancing is cooked. So it's like, it just adds onto it way further. Like, it's like a whole different level of like fucked up. Now, imagine on Reg server, where you're paying real money to prog as well. And there's that big of a class imbalance. Imagine being on Reg server, and you could spend tens of thousands of dollars less to do the same thing, but faster. How big of a difference that is. Like, we always think about it in Heroic, but imagine on Reg as well. How crazy that is. So the problem, why is this a problem, right? It's like, you could always just say like, who gives a fuck? Don't compare yourself to others, right? Let's be honest here. Like, I get it. The game is not competitive. I completely agree. It's not a competitive game. You could always say, don't compare yourself to others. You shouldn't compare yourself to others. I say the same thing. But let's be honest here. How do we play this game? We not only play this game comparing ourselves to other people. You play this game with your friends. One of your friends plays Hayato. One plays some stupid class like Hero or something. Like, you know, the Hayato is going to just accomplish a lot more. And it doesn't feel good. The game itself also promotes comparing yourself to others. That's something that the game in and of itself does. You just hover somebody, you could click on someone, you see somebody's gear, you could see the CP difference. You can see how much CP somebody has, and then you can see them have like a challenger medal on. It's like, how does this person have that, right? The game itself also does that. So it's like, you can't run from it. The game also coerces you into playing these classes. Like, Errol itself has a shine pass. Sia herself has the shine pass. So it's like you're almost being pigeonholed into playing it as well. And then you're going to have that experience. Party bossing. What even is party bossing when you're pugging? You make a pug, right? You make a party recruitment. At the end of the day, you're being compared to other people, even in that. Because why would somebody take the 200 mil CP Shadower when you could take the 200 mil CP Kana? And then the Kana is going to perform way more. The classes are also super easy to play. They're also super easy to play. So it's like, it doesn't even have the aspect of like, well, at least it's hard. No, it's not hard. They're also brain dead, piss easy to play, which also makes it like even more unfair, because it's like, I'm not going to take this dumbass Shadower that doesn't know how to do anything. I'm just going to take the Hayato that's just going to one burst the boss for me. There's actually a lot more to this. So this is just in general. There's 2 things as well that make things a lot worse. So when you look at the end game, because in my opinion, the end game is where class disparity actually matters a lot. because when you're early game, of course there is class disparity, but at the end of the day, you can still clear stuff by working hard, by practicing, by learning your character better, learning the boss better. You'll still clear because of that. But in the end game, when everybody's really good, everybody has good gear, everybody knows how all the bosses work, the main thing that you're gonna experience is just a class disparity. You will get dropped from your party for not being the right class at the right time. And then the other thing that I personally think is the most egregious out of all of them, that's worse than Haido and Kana and Errol and Sia, is Lin. I think Lin is like the #1 worst thing for the entirety of the class balancing in the whole game. I think Lin fundamentally destroys the game's class balancing. Like that class's existence alone. It's the same as when Bishop was super OP. It's the same as when Kana... Well, Kana's still OP, but in a different way. It's the same when Kana was super OP. It just fundamentally, like, the whole endgame surrounds this class. Look at Tomi, for example. He's funding a secondary Lin. He mains Shadower, but he's funding a Lin. Why is he funding a Lin? He's not playing Lin just because he loves playing Lin. He's playing a Lin because he knows that the best way to prog in the endgame is to have a secondary Lin that you can trade bosses with. That's the whole point. Every endgamer is doing this. They're making a secondary Lin so that they can go Lin for somebody else, and then that person can Lin for them. You're sharing Lin. Why is Lin so OP? It gives you 60% final damage. That is a stupid amount of damage added to your character for free, right? This also matters because the game, the current meta of the game, is to solo everything. So if you have a dummy Lin in your party that gives you, that's true, it gives you a drop buff too. If you have a dummy Lin in your party that's just there, it doesn't get any drops, but it buffs you up like crazy. Let me put it this way. You will gain more damage on your main by Lin trading than actually playing your main and funding your main. You'll gain more damage on your main just by doing that, by playing Lin. That'll do more for your main than you trying to double prime or fucking 25, 26 star or something. Like, just getting the Lin, having a guaranteed Lin trade does more for you. And it's dumb. It's back. It's the same as like when Kana was meta, when everybody had to play Kana because, you know, because it had Kish. So you either farm with Kana or you have a side Kana on a second PC. It's almost to the point where you're like 2PCing again, where it's like you have to play Lin on the side in the end game to do anything. And because you have to solo everything, you're going to want priority loot. So that therefore the best way to solo something is to play Lin. That's why the non-KMS versus KMS conversation, that's why this topic is so bad for the game. It's crazy. Lin in particular. Everybody is mind controlled by like Haido and Kana and Errol. Like, of course, these classes are problematic, but they're just super strong. Like, it's less problematic than Lin. Of course, they are problematic. Like, I want to make that clear. And the game should be more balanced. But Lin is the big one that, like, I'm a lot more passionate about versus all the other ones. I main Haido, so maybe you're like all your bias, you don't give a fuck. But it's like, bro, Lin is really like, yeah, Lin is like a culture problem. Like, it fundamentally changes the way that you play the game, period. That's basically all I have to say about it.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of things you said. For the thing that I wanted to get into is that, yes, that's like the overarching problem. There's also like the numbers, numerically speaking, right? So top level strongest KMS classes all the way down to the bottom, there is a 20 FD difference, I think.
Something like that.
The strongest class is 20 FD stronger than the weakest class,
which is crazy in and of itself, by the way. Like, that itself is already crazy and ridiculous. Should be balanced better.
So even within the base original game that where we get our balancing from, by the way, it's also not very good either. The fact there's a 20 FD gap, I think that's too big. I think, for me personally, I feel like at most it should be like 10. I think with at least 10, that's enough wiggle room for you to kind of like eventually give each class kind of the spotlight.
I think
that
5.
It deserves. 5, 10, like, yes, closing the gap would obviously be better, but I I don't think Nexon cares about true balance.
Me neither. I don't
Is
think
the
so.
thing.
I don't think so.
They've
either.
never given us their balance philosophy, and when they kind of like talk about it, it's just like a whole nothing burger when they
Mhm.
talk about it, right? But so we know that top of KMS is 20 FD stronger than bottom. Now, if we were to compare top of KMS to non KMS, this gap is also 20.
Yeah. I thought it was
This is
25.
also 20. Yeah, I think depending on the specs, it could be 25 as well.
Yeah, I thought it was
So
25.
that means
yeah.
the top of non KMS is 40 FD stronger than the very bottom. Like, that's a fat difference, dude. Right? That's huge.
Mhm.
Okay. And I've always said this, and I will always keep saying this. When you play a non KMS class, there are two things that will always be true. You will experience the highs of highs,
Yep.
and you will also experience the lowest of lows. Now, what do I
Yep.
mean by that? Highs of highs, you are at the peak of damage. You have so much damage that your progress is just completely different than other people's experience.
Yep.
Right? And not only that, but the classes that are non-KMS, 5 out of 6 of them are stupidly easy to play.
Yep.
Like, stupidly easy to play. Right? Like, there's no variance between the faker of Arel versus like your chud OCE fucking mid laner Arel player.
True.
Like, it's like maybe like a difference of like 0.5 FD. Okay, that's just how simple the class is. Okay, so the fact that the classes are also easier to play and they're stupidly strong is just like a double whammy, dude. Like, you almost feel like a fool for not playing it, which is also so bad because you shouldn't feel like you're pigeonholed into playing these like 12 classes when there's 56 of them in this game, right?
Mhm.
Like, me and Duky are always people that we recognize that you can't help it but compare yourself to others, but at the same time it is also very important that you play the class that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, don't let other people define what fun is to you. Don't get distracted by that. Like, you play the game how you want to play it, and this game can be very grindy, but it's only grindy if you let it be grindy.
I agree.
Right? But it's ridiculous that there's just this big of a gap in damage. And now, to talk about the lowest of lows for when you play non-KMS classes, what does that mean? Well, if you are someone who's like really involved in this game, then you have already adopted a culture of like watching KMS showcases to see what happens 6 months from now. You see the new skill, you see new class, new boss, new area, right? But if you're playing a non-KMS class, you don't get to see that new skill. You get to see that skill maybe like 9 months later.
Yeah.
Right? And
that was me. I main Hydo, right? Like, that was literally me forever. I remember watching the showcases, new V skills coming out every time, and I wouldn't know what I would get, and it felt like shit. I remember.
And like, there's also the times where, for example, when it was Beast Tamer becoming Lin, there was just like, how long of a period was it where there was just no 6 job available for them?
It was a long time. It was a
very
long time.
like a disgustingly long period, right? It was like it was a couple of months at least.
I thought it was
right?
3 months, I believe.
3 months? Yeah, that's a long time.
Just no 6 job.
And 6 job is the current content.
8 months? Oh shit, never mind. I thought it was 3.
6 job is the current content too.
You just couldn't do anything. There's no 6 job. You're just behind everybody forever.
Not anymore.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they got theirs now.
Not
they
anymore.
got theirs now. Yeah, not anymore. Same with
They got
Hydo,
their
not
get
anymore.
back. Yep. They got their get back.
Yep.
But that's what I mean. Like, you have the highs of highs when you play these non-KMS class, and the lowest of lows. So if you're someone that's okay with that, maybe during the lowest of lows, you just fucking don't play the game until that's gone, and you come back when you're at peak performance. Yep.
The thing with peak performance though is it feels good when you're also at the peak, because you could just like shit on the other people at your spec. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you have to keep playing even during the down, so you keep up.
True.
Like, when Hydo got revamped, bro, man, I was on top of the world that first week, bro. I was on top of the world. All of a sudden, I'm splitting my party now. All of a sudden, bro.
But yeah, it is really it's already dumb that there's a 20 FD gap from top to bottom in KMS, but the fact
Mm-hmm.
that there's another fucking layer of like the fucking iceberg, by the way,
Yeah,
that
yeah, it
there's
is.
another
There's like an
20
iceberg, yeah.
FD there. Like that's fucking insane. That
You
is absolutely insane.
you want to know what's crazy? Is Lin, right? Lin adds to this, by the way, because the 60
Yeah.
FD you get from Lin, the way final damage works is because it scales multiplicatively based off of different sources, right? So classes like Hayato, they have like a lot of FD or something, or Kana, and these classes are also hyper condensed. Like Hayato is hyper condensed as well. Like Hayato does so well with Lin's Awaken. Like the synergy there is perfect. Like it's actually insane how nuts it goes. And they're raising the damage cap soon too. Yep. It's actually like, bro, this shit is, it's like perfectly made together to like be super OP. Whereas other classes that want to synergize with Lin, they can't even synergize with Lin as well. Imagine, actually think about New Kinesis, even a brand new class. New Kinesis's burst is 31 seconds long. Like, do you think that synergizes with Lin that well? No, it's
That's
not.
such a random number.
It's
too.
literally 31 seconds long. The New Kinesis burst. It's crazy. It's actually so stupid. It's 31 seconds long. Like, not even 30. Not even 30. Like,
You're gonna be bursting for 31 seconds, and Hayato's gonna be in phase 2 already, dude.
yeah, Haido's burst is so fast, you could do it in like 6 seconds. It's like, you know, with Haido's burst, you could even buffer the inputs. You could like pre-fire them. That's how crazy it is. Like, that shit is designed to just like instantly delete the boss. Like, it's so crazy. You know, it's faster. It's faster for my Haido to just do the 2-minute burst than Ascent like C10. It kills it faster than pressing Ascent 2 times.
That's crazy.
It's actually yeah, it's so stupid.
Wait, you do that?
Yeah, I just enter and do my 2-minute burst and it dies faster than 2 Ascents.
That's actually insane.
That's how fast it is. Like, it's crazy how this class works. Like, it fits in the fatal.
Holy, no wonder they're nerfing Mugong, dude.
As we should, though. Like, we do deserve it. But that's not part of the conversation here. As we deserve it. I think the thing is, though, so there's another part of this that we didn't talk about, is like the feeling that this gives you as a new player. Like, this is something that can make the game worse. Like, it's not just because it's like, it's not just an end game thing, by the way. Like, this issue, it's not just an end game thing. It's not just like, boo, this person first cleared before me. Why? That's not fair. Like, yeah, obviously it's not fair. And if you're playing a Korean class, you're just an idiot right now. You're just an idiot if you play a Korean class. But the thing that makes the game, the reason why it makes the game worse is it's gonna propagate, which already is happening, by the way. It's gonna propagate a culture of just telling everybody to play Haido, Kana, Errol, and so on. So a lot of people are going to end up playing these characters, and yes, of course, their progression is going to be faster, but they might not actually like playing the character. Like, there's already been people in my chat, they're like, I regret playing Haido, it's so boring. I regret playing Errol, it's so boring. Of course, your prog is faster, that's undeniable, right? But that person could have ended up enjoying the game a lot more if they played something that they were interested in playing, right? So it's going to create a pretty sort of toxic, I don't want to use the word toxic, but it's going to create a like more like elitist focused community, I guess, that's like basically hyper optimized all the time, and you're going to make people play shit that maybe they don't want to play, which is not good for the game. Like, the game shouldn't be like that. The best state of the game is just play whatever you want, right? But what I'm somebody who tells people that, like, just play whatever you want. I play whatever I want, right? But the problem with that is I always have to add in like an asterisk of like, but if you want the faster prog, you play these characters. Like, there's no if and but, it's just a fact. Like, if you play Lin, if you play Haido, Kana, Sia, Errol, Moshen, maybe not Moshen as much because it's like a little harder to play, I guess, like, but you're gonna have faster prog. Like, it's just a fact. There's no other way around it. There's just another way around it. It's not good for the game. Like, these classes should be balanced. But I also want to say, on top of all of this, even if Haido and Kana did get balanced, or the non-KMS in general, like, even if Lin gets balanced as well, it still doesn't fix the whole issue, by the way. Like, class balancing is still fucked regardless. You said this earlier. I deadass don't think they care about class balancing at all. Like, in the last... Bro, I've been playing since 2015. I don't think there was a single time where the game was, like, balanced. Like, straight up. There was a single era where, like, everything was pretty solid. No, like, it's always been really bad. There's always been a class that was... Or a few classes that are way worse, and always a few classes that are way better. Like, that's how it's always been. I think it's more accurate to say that this game has no balancing versus this game has some balancing. I straight up think there's no balancing in this game. Like, it's just, like, more accurate to believe that there's no balancing.
I think what would be nice, I kind of touched upon it earlier, would be like if each class just had a moment in time where they would just get the spotlight, where like they're the fucking hottest shit in the world right now. Because I know this is like a completely different game, but like League of Legends has a bounce patch very often, right? And there are times where there's actually recently where the game was so balanced that people were bored.
Yeah.
So they shook up the balance by just making certain characters just OP, just to shake up the meta, right? So I feel like it'd be nice. What would help a lot with MapleStory is if the balance patches were more often.
Yeah.
And also, like, it's kind of like you said, like I really don't think they are trying to have true balance. But if that is the case, then at least allow like just fucking throw something on the wall and watch it stick, and just whatever class lands there, like make that class just a spotlight for the patch, right?
Yep. I mean, at this point, I agree, bro. Like, if we're gonna have fucked balancing, at least rotate the OP classes, bro. At least rotate them. At least rotate them. Like, if we're gonna have fucked balancing, at least be like, you know what, bro? Like, this week, like, or this patch, Ho-Young's just the top class, bro. Like, it is what it is. And it's like, you know, I feel special. You know what's interesting, though, is I was talking to Big G about this one time. Other games that have, like, fucked balancing or problems with balancing, what they do to compensate this, like League, like you mentioned, League, right? There's times where League has crazy balancing. The nice thing about other games when they have crazy balancing is they at least make it easy to switch characters. So at least if you wanted to play competitively, you had the option of playing that new character and learning it and getting really good at it, because that option's available to you. But Maple's not like that. You pretty much, let's be honest, you pretty much can't main swap. Like, if you're endgame, it's like really hard to do that. I mean, this guy, I mean, Loki, you're not endgame. Like, Loki, you're not an endgamer, so like it's a little different. If you're an actual endgamer like me, like, you're not gonna main swap. Like, you're not. It's just not gonna happen. Like, it's such a hurdle to main swap. So that's why it makes the balancing so much worse in this game, because you're just stuck. You're stuck on your shit ass class, and you're gonna have to suffer until you get your come up, if you ever do, right? It's not good. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, that's why, you know, the first thing I said was that it's a completely different game, but at least like they give each champion a chance to like take the spotlight, right?
Yeah.
When they release a new, that's kind of what they're doing with KMS right now to an extent. Like, when they released a new class called Lette, and
yeah.
she's basically just like if Kana was a homunculus, like Leth is just like the failed version of that.
True.
Right?
True.
In every single way, it's just the worst version. Like, Kana, you have like cute little like anime girls. Lette, you have like these little edgy ass shadow lords with like blades and daggers and books, and like nothing cute about it at all besides the character itself. And then the gameplay is basically identical, except it's just worse in every way in terms of like like it's just a washed down version of it. It's just a bad version of Kana. And it's like they're trying so hard to make this class more appealing to people just by pumping it with damage.
I mean, at the end of the day, that shit works. Like, that shit does work, though. Like, it actually works. Look at Xenon, bro. Or old Xenon. Look at old Xenon. How shit of a class it was, but if it was strong, we will played it, so.
I've said this before, right? Like, obviously, in this modern day and age of MapleStory, we have a lot of quality of life to classes. Like, as a kind of consequence of that, like every class has been renified,
That's true.
right? The renification of classes.
Yep.
But that also did give a lot of classes like the quality life it needed to just like
That is true.
feel good to play, right? But at the cost of class identity and all that stuff, and the things that made it what it was, the class it was, right? The point that I'm trying to get to is just that I feel like it's just so unfortunate that if a class had such bad quality of life and it was just so clunky and it was so bad to play, that the easiest thing to fix that was just give it a lot of damage.
Yeah. I mean, it's lazy. It's the lazy fix, right? It's easy. People are gonna play it because it's just like, I'll deal with it because it does infinite damage, right? All of a sudden the narrative changes. It goes from like, fuck this class, it's clunky, to like, no, because it's so strong, it has to be clunky to compensate for it being strong. Like, it just changes all of a sudden. Just the damage just makes you like get mind controlled straight up.
Yeah, I mean that was basically what Xenon was like too. When it was a 3-minute version of Xenon, and you have to charge that beam up, right? And then your movement options were really bad, and then your up jump was an attack skill, and the up jump didn't really take you that far. Like, Xenon was a super clunky and like ass to play, but you know, when you did finally charge your laser and then you bind and then you burst it, like, it felt really good. It felt really good, right? But that's like that was like how people kind of like coped with classes that objectively were really bad to play, and the experience of playing it was bad. But the fact that it did a lot of damage was like, oh, you know what? At least it does a lot of damage. I'm okay with this. You know, like, and that's such a if you were someone that was in game design and you developed a new character or class, and that was what someone was saying about your character that you designed, would you feel like shit?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you feel bad? Like, this is your baby, and people are saying, yeah, this shit's fucking ugly as fuck, but at least it's really strong. Like,
bro, Nexon is not like that, bro. Like, they don't have that like pride, bro. They don't have that pride in their work. Like, they're just trying to make money, bro. Like, that's literally it. Like, that's why their fix is to add damage, because they want you to keep funding the character. Like, they're just trying to make money. Like, it's very clear that Nexon is not like a player's game. They're a shareholders game. That's what Nexon is as a company. They are a shareholders game, and once you realize that, all of their decision making makes sense. Like, everything makes sense all of a sudden. I think Changsop himself is prideful of the game. Like, he wants the game to be good, but he's just one dude. He's just one dude, right? Like, there's a lot of other moving parts, and I think most of them are designed for the shareholders. And those shareholders also, some of them are their big spenders, by the way. Like, the whales, they also have influence. Like, why do you think Kali's never bad, for example? Because the number one guy in KMS is a Kali, right? He's a Kali main. Kali will never be bad so long as he plays the game. It's that simple.
it's funny you mention that, because I think that guy used to be a Paladin player, because Paladin was like at the peak, but then he swapped to like Kali because Kali was untapped potential. Yeah. And then also, unrelated, but that guy's 150k converted, by the way.
That's like a 110k Hido.
That true.
I'm stronger than him. I'm actually stronger than him, bro. Straight up.
True.
I'm stronger than him, bro. But yeah,
I mean, yeah,
that's how it is. That's literally how it is. That's the game that we play. We're playing a shareholders game. That's why all this shit doesn't make sense. It's hard to be like passionate and believe in like the perfect game when like the company themselves don't believe in that. They believe in the shareholders game. This is a capitalist game, straight up.
And all the things we talked about so far for this topic is exactly why Duky is not endgame anymore and doesn't want to strive for that.
Because, whoa, let's not get crazy.
Because
go crazy here.
Like, he just so happens to be playing Hayato, but
what?
Like even as a Hayato, he isn't really even pushing anything.
Who's stronger, me or you?
Okay. And
I got you, bro. Who's stronger, me or you?
You're not doing the same bosses as me, bro.
I'm stronger than you, though. Answer the question.
You're not doing the same bosses as me. Also, I'm not Max Hexa.
Neither am I, bro. Neither am I. I'm stronger, bro. Therefore, I'm more endgame than you. that simple.
But anyways, this game when it comes to be competitive is the worst fucking game because unless you're like meta slaving for like the good classes, you're just gonna be miserable as fuck. Like
no, Tummy has a good point. No, you're right. It's true. Like I don't have the desire to push the way I used to, like hyper endgame shit, the way that you play the game, right? Actually, I think you're not even the way you used to be either, to be honest with you.
Like, no,
you're not. You're not as the way you were either, and it makes sense why. This is a game that does not reward you for your hard work. It doesn't. Like in the end game, let me be specific. In the end game, it doesn't. In the end game, it does not. You can get to the end game with pure hard work and brute force, but at some point, you will become cucked by the balance and Nexon's shit ass decision making. Like there's nothing you could do, bro. If you're a dumbass bishop right now, what do you do? What do you do? Like what are your options? You switch to Ice Lightning? Okay, well, I just lost all my frags and I'm behind for another like 6 months while I get all my frags back, right? If you're a Hayato like me, right? What happened to me? All of a sudden, boom, I just became like the strongest guy in the world and I was able to Decilib and do all the bosses instantly. I didn't work hard for that. It's not like I deserve it because I worked harder than somebody and stuff like that, right? It's like, no, like all of a sudden it was just gifted to me, right? That's the type of game that you play right now in MapleStory. That's why for me, the end game is not attractive because I know, even though I'm playing the right class, like I'm playing Hayato, right? So it's like theoretically I can do everything, but I know that I'm not necessarily doing it because I worked hard to do it. I'm doing it because I'm the right class at the right time, and it doesn't feel good. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Like on a surface level, you think it does because it's like I'm just clearing shit, but ultimately you're not clearing shit because you're better than somebody or you worked harder than somebody. No, it's the same with first clearing stuff. Like first clearing stuff, if I were to first clear something on my Hayato, how much of it is because I worked harder than this other person? I'm better at the game than this person. How much of it is that versus I'm playing Hayato? It's all I'm playing Hayato. Like if you're being honest, it's because you play Hayato. That's why you do it, right? So it doesn't feel good. I don't like if you're a competitive type of person, you're not rewarded for that in this game. The competitive aspects of this game are extremely shallow. They're extremely shallow. They're not fulfilling in my opinion. So it's not attractive to me to push endgame. That's why I've been playing a shit ton of random different characters. I've been having fun that way. But it actually all stems down to balancing. That's like the real reason why. Is like because the balancing is so fucked, it's like who cares, right? Like if I'm weak, my shit's gonna be miserable. If I'm strong, I didn't earn anything. Right? It's like it doesn't feel good. So and that's the bottom line.
That's why you have to have a larger ego so you can ego other people for being a stronger class.
Yep. That's actually true. I mean, to be honest with you, the most fun I have on my Hayato is just talking shit. Like that's it. It's just like I'm stronger than you. Shut up. I'm stronger than you. That's it. It's just like because that shit will work on some people, and that shit feels good. So. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't have anything else to say. Lin is the biggest problem, though. I want to make it clear. Everybody is like hyper focusing Hayato. It's Lin. Like Lin is the true like top terrorist in the game for sure.
Yeah. Right there with the other terrorists, right?
Shadower. Shadower has the Meso passive, which we're in a Meso meta right now. That shit's so OP.
True, I'm getting paid to play the class. I'm getting paid to play the class.
This shit is not fair, bro.
Yeah. That mainly covers that topic, I think.
Yeah.
There's probably other things we could talk about too, but I think it'll just be like a endless echo chamber of just going back to like bouncing this shit.
Yep.
But it's still something we should talk about, which we did.
No, it's important to talk about. This is not a topic that like is irrelevant. Like it's an important topic that affects everybody. So actually, you know what I want to say as well? I'm just going to throw this in there like just to say it. Like if you heard this whole conversation and you're like, "Man, fuck this game. I don't want to play." I get it, bro. I get it. But to be honest with you, you can still have a fulfilling experience on this game no matter what class you play. Like, that's just the truth. Like, you can have it fun and enjoy this game and prog and clear every boss, Decilib. You could do on any class, so. Just want to throw that out there. I don't want to make it seem like it's impossible. It's not impossible.
Yeah, like we said before, like if you were to be competitive in this game, it's not a good game to be competitive in. Like in the sense of like you're trying to first clear shit. Like that's basically just for the people who play the right classes and also have the right connections too.
It's funny because
most importantly,
it's always
the right
been
classes.
that way. It's actually always been that way. That's the funny part, but it's more so now.
It's more egregious now because the pool of it's not even about the pool of players; it's the pool of classes.
Yep.
Because you have a bunch of people who are strong. It's just they're just playing the wrong class.
Mm-hmm. It's impossible for a Night Lord and Ren to Duky Lib Kaling. They'll fix that shit. Who gives a fuck, bro? Fuck Night Lord. All right, next topic.
Oh, we could do like a little chat session.
Oh yeah. Thoughts, guys? Thoughts on everything we said?
Anything you guys want to say or ask about what we just talked about before we move on to the next and final topic for today?
Yep. You didn't complain about Lin enough? That's what I started this whole segment on. Lin was like the opener. The opener is the most important burst in a raid. That's facts.
What would be your balanced philosophies? I know this gets brought up a lot. I don't exactly have a problem with this, but essentially some people don't like the fact that classes that are super easy also tend to just happen to be stronger than other classes that are much harder to play. But I feel like you picked that class because you were up for that challenge and you like that playstyle, right? Like if you were interested in playing a class that took a little bit more skill to play, like Zero or Cadena, right? Like that's the reason why you chose it, because it was a more challenging class. You like the playstyle of it. You like the reward of getting better at executing the combos or animation canceling, whatnot. And then if it happened to be a strong class, that was just a nice bonus to you, right? I think when it comes to what advantages classes that are hard to play should have, I think classes that are hard to play, the one advantage that makes sense to me is that they just have more opportunities to deal damage when other classes can't, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, a lot of the classes that are harder to play are also the classes that have a lot of movement involved. Not necessarily like iframes or whatever, but like you're able to just you have access to like micro movements or like back steps or whatever to allow you to keep your damage uptime. Whereas for other classes that are a little bit more like one-dimensional and more straightforward, for example, like like I don't know, like Dark Knight. Like Dark Knight is like of the extreme where it's just like you have access to like a really long iframe. But when you don't have that, like you're pretty one-dimensional, your movement is you're like a castle on a chessboard, you know? A rook. But that's how I feel when it comes to classes that are more complicated. They should just naturally have more opportunities to deal damage when other classes can't.
I agree with what Finky said. I think there should be caps, though. Like, I think if a hard class is literally the worst class in the game, I think it doesn't make sense. It just feels wrong. Like, it feels like the dumbest thing you could ever do.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That's basically Evan.
Yep.
Alright, I'm ready to move on. Our last final topic for tonight.
Alright, last topic. Last topic, and this is a big one. This is a topic that I'm very passionate about. Who can guess what it is? Something I talk about all the time. All the time. This is like, actually, I am the progenitor of talking about this topic. Okay, you know what? You're right. Monetization is one of them, but it's not one of them. It's the second most important one that I talk about. I'm the progenitor of this topic.
Clout?
The third most important topic. Clout is extremely important too. Yes. FOMO? The fourth most important topic. Okay, there's a lot of things I talk about a lot. And Steam Market, it's Soul Erda Fragments. Soul Erda Fragments. This is a very, very important topic. I talk about this all the time on my stream regularly. I make videos about this. This is a very important topic that affects everybody, even if you're endgame, even if you're max frags. It does affect you. Okay, so you want to go ahead or I talk about it first?
You can set the floor, and then I have kind of the specifics of what I was going to talk about anyways. But I feel like you're going to cover most of the stuff anyway, so I'll just kind of be on assist mode.
So basically Soul Erda Fragments. This is a resource that you need to upgrade your 6-job skills, right? And you need a lot of them. And as new 6-job skills come out, you need more and more and more of them. Somebody who starts playing the game today needs more fragments than somebody who started 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago. They need more. That's just how it is. You're gonna need more fragments because the ceiling keeps increasing. Problem is, the rate of you getting those frags does not increase either. The ceiling increases, but the rate does not increase, meaning that fragments are a problem, meaning that maxing out your fragments and getting more frags gets harder and harder and harder to max out every single patch, which doesn't make any sense. It's antithetical to the rest of the game. The rest of the game, everything else gets easier over time. Hitting 22 stars is way easier than it was 5 years ago. Getting pitch is easier today than it was a year ago. Getting anything today is easier than it was a year ago besides fragments. This is completely different to every other issue in the game. Now, here's the thing with fragments is the way that I look at it is you look at every resource your character needs to get stronger. Your character needs mesos, it needs fams, it needs nodes, it needs frags, it needs XP. All these different resources are base resources in the game that you can get by playing the game. Whether it's doing dailies, whether it's doing weeklies, whether it's doing bosses, whether it's farming. You have methods of getting these resources. Take mesos as an example. We all agree you need a shit ton of mesos. How do you get mesos on this game? You farm, you do dailies like Ursus or MapleStory. You could do weekly bosses. You could you can get them as a drop, like a meso bag drop or some shit. Like there's just like a million ways to get mesos in the game because it's really important and you need them across all of your characters, right? Fragments, if you think about how you get them, how do you get them? You get them from farming. You get them from some weeklies, like Erda Request, High Mountain, Epic Dungeon. And then you can get them from events, like event selectors, right? So fragments, despite it being an essential resource, same with XP, by the way, there's like a million ways to get XP. Events, dailies, weeklies, training, bossing. Like, technically bosses do give XP, it's not much, but it's like, it still gives some. Fragments, fundamentally, you can't get them from every resource, and I think it's a problem. Like, there's a flaw. The other thing with Soul Erda Fragments is this is an item that's designed by Korea for Korea. It's an item that's designed to be sold, traded, and bought. That's why they're structured the way they are. That's why you don't get a lot of them from the resources that you get them from, because they're designed to be gotten from other people or being sold to do other things with them, right? That's so because we can't do that in Heroic, it's a resource that is fundamentally flawed in Heroic. Like it's just straight up a flawed item. On top of all of this, you don't have control over the fragments that you do have. You don't need fragments on just your main. You need them on a lot of different characters. Your Legion champs, your boss mules, which boss muling, in my opinion, is something that is here to stay. There's been so many times that crystals have gotten nerfed, and we didn't get those nerfs to crystals. So to me, it seems like the boss mule meta is it's here to stay, and it's more powerful than ever now for other reasons. So frags, you don't even have control of them. If you were to have them on your main, you can't put them on your mule. That's not how, so you don't have control of them. The other thing is fragments need to also drop from bosses for many reasons. Like I said before, it's a resource that is incomplete and you need them on a lot of different characters, right? or you need them on a lot of different characters. If you were to get frags from bosses, it allows you to prog those characters through weeklies every single week you're moving forward. You don't have stagnant characters. This is also against the direction that Korea is going. Korea doesn't want to have stagnant characters. The game is heading in a direction where even if you don't even play the game, every time you log in, you are being power crept somehow. Whether it's new skills that are available to you or new events that are OP. You're still moving forward somehow. The Fragment system, you're not moving forward with it. You're never moving forward with it. If I log off now and I don't log in for a year, the fragments are not going to be easier to get in a year. It's just going to be harder to max out my frags a year from now because there's going to be new skills and I need more frags. Of course, you're stronger in a year. Of course, the value of the frags goes up because there's new skills, but it doesn't matter. The way that it is conceptually is it's flawed. It's always getting harder and harder. At this point, I'm just repeating myself, but that's basically my issues with the frags. The solution is we need more sources of them, so they need to drop from bosses, and we need more control over them, meaning you need to be able to trade them, basically. There's actually so many more issues too, like frags being in passes and like the sort of fragments from the pass in the shop, like the booster just doesn't make any sense. Like all that shit just doesn't make any sense. You could go ahead.
I wanted to get into like the specifics of the numbers basically. So right now, in this moment, you need 43,976 fragments.
Yep.
Minimum, because that's not including the frags that you need to unlock each hexastat core, and the frags you would need to roll them to whatever desired value you wanted them to be at, right? And at this very moment, the amount of frags you get for free, right? Epic Dungeon from Nightmare Paradise, you get 70 frags from that. That's once a week. Okay, you get that for free if you do it. You have Erda's Request, 9 fragments. Okay, 5,000 monsters, you do that once a week again. Okay, so far that's already 160. Then you have an unpopular source, but it does exist, which is Guild Castle, right? You can get anywhere from 19 all the way up to 32 based on RNG, I think. Or maybe not based on RNG, but like based on how many people in your guild are doing, I think, is how it works. So that would bump it from potentially, so it would be 160 per week from that only. But if you do Guild Castle, it could be 179 or 192. Okay. That's per week, right? These are things that are limited by per week, okay? And if you wanted to accelerate this progress, you would have to farm, okay? So I don't know what the rates are like at lower drop rates and kill rates, but right now, if you are someone that's farming in Talahart and you have your 110 drop rate, you know, you're full clearing the map through Janus and whatnot, you're getting around 20 frags an hour.
How much drop is that? Like 394 or like 4? It's like 400, right? Like perma.
It's like somewhere around 400. Yeah, somewhere around 400. Yeah.
So if you're farming 200, you're gonna get like half of that. 200 drop is pretty reasonable to farm at.
I don't know if it's actually half because the drop rate increase is like logarithmic with the familiar or frags for some reason. Well, not for some reason, but
is it? I thought it wasn't. I thought when we got the rates from Korea, it was just like drop rate affects frags at like half efficiency or something like that.
I don't remember, but I get around 20 an hour from when I looked at it.
Yeah,
myself.
no, I agree. I just think that if it was cut in half, if you were at 200 drop, it would be like 10 an hour basically.
Bro's pregnant.
I got frags.
And then you have the paid options now. So something that is always available for frags for money is the Soul Erda booster, which is 29.8k NX. It requires you to log in every single day to claim it yourself, okay? And after you do all that for 30 days straight, okay, you get a total of 220 frags and 6 soul.
210. Wait,
210?
I thought
no, it's 220.
Is it 220? I thought it was 210. Okay.
220.
Okay. You can't miss a day.
Yeah, you can't miss a day. However, if for whatever reason the game's down for 48 hours,
I forgot about that.
You may or may not be comped. I did hear recently that they did comp people for that, but I also remember in the past that they didn't. You're just shit out of luck. Oopsie, can't help you. right?
I
So
see.
maybe it's RNG with the GM you get or something, which is that's another topic too.
That's
Just
a
now that I
whole
just
other
think about
topic.
it.
Next on support.
Next
Yeah.
on support RNG is crazy, dude. Another layer of RNG that you guys would have never even thought about.
Yeah.
And then upcoming, another source that you can pay for is the Operation Dive, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get 800 fragments without paying. If you do
No,
pay,
no, you get 1,000 because of the shop as well.
oh, okay. So you get another 600 or no,
No,
no
you get
800.
1,000 and then you get 777 if you pay.
Oh, okay.
Each track is 777. Let's just say 800.
Oh,
Each track is 800 and then there's 200 in the shop.
okay. So you're basically almost getting like a double if you pay.
Yeah,
for
almost
it.
double. Yeah.
So what's so funny about this, and we kind of talked about this before, where it's like you were talking about how before this podcast started, how like you feel like your job as a content creator is to explain to people the value of pass, which
Yeah.
is funny because in order for you to tell someone the value of something is good, there needs to be something of value that is bad,
Yeah.
right? It's
Mhm.
kind of like the fast food marketing theory where it's like you have a red herring in your portion sizes where you have the small, medium, and large, and you make the medium look like a really bad deal, making the large and small looking like a better deal. That's the
Yeah.
same thing that's going on here, where you will have like who remembers like last patch from the event, there was like a 50k
Yeah. That
pass
shit
at the
was
very bottom
horrible.
for like VIP boosters and some other like two solar energy whatever. Like
Mm-hmm.
that exists there for the people who have like fuck you kind of money and will just buy anyways. But then it
Mm-hmm.
also exists as to show you that some of these deals look better and worse than others. So when you have something like that's so poor, again, it's relative based on what else they sell for you to have that kind of frame of reference, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the Operation Dive pay to win that looks like a really, really good deal, especially when you compare it to the Soul Order Booster, which is available year round,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're the Soul Order Booster again is 29.8k next, requires you to log on every single day to claim it. If you forget, sucks to suck. If the game's down, you may or may not get that comped, right? Versus Operation Dive, you participate in this event, and like a week or two, maybe 3 weeks, I think, you get 777 frags immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to wait for it over 30 days.
And
It's
it's
like
per
2 weeks
world.
instead. Yeah, and it's per world, so you can double dip on that on Challenge World and on your main world,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can't even buy it on Challenge World too, the Solar Booster.
Yeah.
And is Solar Booster per character, or can you only have one active at a time?
No, I think it's only one.
One active at a time as well.
I think so,
Wow.
yeah. I think it's only one.
As for the cost of the Operation Dive Pass, it's ambiguous because if you have like not enough Maple points to buy it or NX, it says it costs 50k.
I
But
think it's
in
just
the
a
event that
bug.
yeah, I think it's a visual bug. But if you did have 50k, it then says that it costs 20k. So we don't know how much it actually will cost, but it's between 20 and 50.
They said in the notes it would cost 20. They didn't update in the notes.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, so like for 20 bones, that's a
It's crazy.
comparatively, it's a way better deal than the Soul Order Booster, right? And it's also more immediate. You don't have to wait 30 days,
Yeah.
right? So it's interesting in like how aggressive they are with like monetizing frags because it's just not only was it Operation Dive, there was the Challenger Pass
Yeah.
as well that also had like frags in it too.
Yeah, and
Right.
a lot of other shit too that was really good.
So obviously the Challenger Pass wasn't the first time that they sold that. Like that was available every Challenge World, I believe.
Mhm. It's from
Or
Korea.
Was it available in Challenger 1 or maybe it was
I think it
I'm trying to
was.
remember.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay. Yeah. So they aren't afraid to like paywall these additional sources. And like compared to what you can get for free, it's also like time gated per week on your main or whatever you want it on. Otherwise, to bypass that time, like you just have to be farming, right? And again,
Mhm.
at peak rates in Chronos, or sorry, in Heroic, you're only getting it like at about 20, right? Talking peak rates.
Mhm.
So, and again, you need almost 44,000 fragments to max what you currently have. That doesn't account for the next skill that we would get, and the other skill that is announced in Overdrive, right? There's still 2 more skills coming on top of this 44,000 that we need to max,
Yep.
not including Hexastat 1, 2, and 3 that we have already. Well, there will be 4, 5, and 6 as well.
Yep. Just OD.
So, I agree that they really need to increase the amount of frags that you can get. I think it's unfortunate that they're not increasing the amount of frags you get from farming. They're adding like other ways to get the fragments.
They're trying
From,
to
like,
make money out
quests.
of it, bro. They're actually just
Yeah,
trying to
they're
make money out of it. Like that's how they are.
Yeah, they're also trying to monetize off it too.
Yeah.
But like, you know, to be fair though, like the Operation Dive giving you 800 or 1,000 frags for free though, that
That
is
shit
like
is crazy.
super-
Yeah, that is very
It is
good.
really nice.
The thing with frags is it's also front loaded. Like the earlier frags are more important than the later frags. Like 0 to 3k is way more important than 21 to 24k in terms of your frags. Like it's way more important. I'm a fan of them adding random bullshit that gives you frags. Like I think farming obviously is good. I would be happy if they increase the rates from farming as well. But the thing about farming is it only helps people that farm, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody farms. As a matter of fact, most people don't farm that much. Hour a day, maybe an hour a day, right? It's like, so I'm a big fan. There's also RNG, right? Like, think of star spec boxes, right? Like, I'm a big fan of things being attached to quests. You kill a certain amount of mobs, you get a result, right? And then if you want to do further, then you could go ahead and farm. That's why all the events are structured that way. They're all structured like 10k mobs, you're done with Elenos. 30k mobs, you're done with Memento Pass or whatever it is. It's like they're all structured this way because, like, why would you want the RNG? The RNG is fine if you're just grinding a lot, but the other thing is they should also power creep the Erda request every time there's a new skill. Like, Erda request has been power crept once so far, where it would give 12 a day. And so it would be like, what? Was it 12 a day? Before? Erda request?
Yes.
It was 12 frags a day, right? Yeah. So then it would give like 84 total in the week. And now it gives you 90 every week from just a weekly. Oh, 10 to 12 to 90. Okay, I see. That's what it was. So it's been power crept, but it needs to be power crept again. It needs to keep getting power crept. It needs to go to like, 150 and then like 250 or whatever, because you need a lot of these frags like over time. I also think when bosses drop frags, it should scale with the boss too. I just think boss drops in general are pretty bad. Like they're not good enough. I think that's a completely different topic. Like X-Calus only giving you 3 pieces and C-Calus is 2. Like it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, the frags need to scale up with the bosses too. Like if you're doing X-Calus or something like that, right? You should get a lot of frags for doing that. And then of course they're tradable too. So it helps you fund your character further, right? Like this is the way that I look at it. If somebody has an account like mine or something where you have like a really strong character, it shouldn't be as hard to fund another character because I already funded one really far, right? So that way, like, you're not only rewarded for climbing bosses, like for example Jupiter right now, right? Jupiter, in my opinion, he's not that rewarding given the amount of effort that it takes to get to him. But if, let's say, Jupiter, because he's 295 and he's the new boss, he dropped like 800 frags, something crazy. Like you kill him, you get 800 frags and they're transferable. Bro, how important would that be to hit Jupiter? Like all of a sudden it's like, yo, I need to get to this point in the game. 290 you do Baldrix, he's dropping like a few hundred frags. Yo, I need to get to this point in the game and clear this boss, and it helps me fund my other characters a lot more. And it increases the value of having a really strong character in your account by a lot. So And it all ties in together. If you have a really strong character in your account, you're more likely to spend an X because you're more committed to the game. So boss rewards also increase sales too. Like if Nexon wants to look at it that way, it does, right? That's why like frags dropping from bosses is super important, and they need to scale correct as well. It can't be like you clear H bald, he gives you 50, you clear N bald, he gives you 40. Like who gives a fuck? It's like it doesn't even matter. It has to scale really hard. Normal Kai and hard Kai actually scales well too, funny enough. Or it's like one the ceiling is 100, the other one the ceiling is 200. Like it's like it doubles. It's crazy.
I think essentially like let's just pretend that the lack of soul order fragments is a symptom of something. The root cause of that, like the causing the symptom that you're experiencing, is Nexon's pacing of content release. Right?
Okay.
I feel like if their content schedule is considered slow, then naturally the progression of which they make the game easier for people, or like these adding quality of life and all this stuff, would also be slow too. Right? If they were pumping out new content like 3-month cycle, like, or even like a 2-month cycle, then I think it would make sense that we will be getting way more frags and way more often too. Right? I think because they have a content schedule of when they want to release stuff, that naturally things that is much needed and added to the game to make the game feel better for players also gets added in really slowly. Think about the fact that we had so many quality of life things that were just drip fed to us, right?
Oh yeah.
One perfect example is that when you would DC, not all of your coupons will be saved.
Yeah.
But then slowly over time, they were like, okay, now you get to keep your wealth coupon. Now you get to keep your WAP. Now you get to keep this buff, that buff. By the way, if you DC today, you still lose your drop rate buff, by the way.
Yeah,
how long until they add that and they make it so that it gets, it stays with you, right? Like they also like instead of just getting the job done and like future proof it, it's like, yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it, like that's just like the Nexon way. So I think the symptom of like soul order fragments not being addressed sooner for us in GMS is the symptom of like the content release schedule, right? And then on top of that, there's also the fact that we also know that MapleStory Classic is on the horizon, and that's like Inkwell's like golden goose right now.
Yep.
Right? He's really making sure that this thing does not. Here's the thing. I know we're kind of getting off topic, but like, if MapleStory Classic has a failed launch, it's over. It's dead on arrival. It is dead on arrival. If the login servers are having issues or people are getting rolled back, like think about all the shit that we've been through in the last like 2 months on GMS. If any of those things happened on Classic, it's over.
Yeah,
it's done for. So I'm sure Inkwell's probably just like, fuck, like we're gonna make sure this Classic launch goes perfect.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I think like I can't. Again, we can only speculate. Obviously, you and I don't work for Nexon. We don't have an insider either, right?
Hey, speak for yourself, bro.
The reason why we have to speculate so much in the first place is because there's a lack of communication too, right?
Yeah.
So again, like if soul order fragments is a symptom, the root cause is the content schedule releasing, and also just the Inkwell's just hyper focused on Maple Classic, right?
Yep.
Which I've mentioned this before as like a funny thought experiment.
Makes sense.
Like, would it be good for us if Classic was successful or a failure?
It's good. It's good. It's a good thing.
Because I could see it going both ways of it being good or bad for us, right?
Has to be a good
us
thing.
As in GMS. But yeah, no, I agree. Like there definitely should be more ways to get frags. I also did wish that they made it so that farming frags would also feel better too, or that you get more.
Yeah, dude. In my perfect world, everything becomes more the higher level you are. Like it's a very simple concept. Like the higher level you are, the stronger you are. The higher level you are, the more rates you get. Like it's like you need to feel really rewarded for progging in these new areas. New areas have higher frag rates. Like that would that would help so much. It would help so much. Yeah, like Ursus. Yep, like Ursus, bro. Exactly.
Yo,
If
get 40 mil from Ursus, bro. Let's go.
they literally need to do that because everything that you do when you move up becomes higher cost. Like, how much is your Meso cost to improve on your Shad versus some rinky dink like 100 mil CP Shad? Like, your Meso cost to improve is like infinitely higher. So you should be making more money. But you don't. Like, it's negligible. It's like, sure, you can make like 720 mil an hour. Like, that's good, but you can make 650 in Odium. Like, okay.
Honestly, this this is like a whole other topic to talk about, but it is really relevant. But like it's what you said before about like reboot versus reg.
Dude, that is the... If you keep zooming out of every issue in the whole game, if you zoom out far enough, you will find reboot and regs coexistence is like the root cause of that issue. For every issue. Whether it's on reg side or heroic side.
Yeah. And like basically to kind of give you guys like this like TLDR of that, essentially these two games are like complete opposites of how they operate and how they attract players and how they monetize things too.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you were trying to be a free to play player, you would have a bad experience on playing on reg server.
Yep.
Your experience as free to play player will most likely be better on heroic. However, if you're someone who is willing to spend money in the game, depending on how much you're spending, you would technically have a better experience on reg server.
Yeah.
Right? You're supposed the idea is that you're supposed to have a better experience if you're paying on reg server.
That's
the paid
idea.
experience
That's the
is
idea.
supposed to be better on reg server, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the paid experience on reboot is really just pretty much like pay for convenience, pay for cosmetics, and then well now these days pay for a passive too between both worlds. Which brings me to the point that Nexon is really fucking trying to do the impossible and dividing by zero, and they're trying to make both of these worlds just work.
Yep.
Right? But there is a very obvious reason as to why no other fucking server has reboot.
Yep.
Because it's antithesis of each other between reg and reboot.
Yeah.
Right? And so when Nexon does something that only benefits heroic, reg server players get fucking pissed as fuck.
Yep.
And vice versa. If they make things that are only affect reg server, I feel like it's probably to a lower percentage of people that actually care. Like probably people that just probably don't give a fuck that reg server got better. If anything, they might feel like, hooray, good for them, right? But I feel like when it's the other way around, like reg server is really, I get the sense, right? Maybe I'm skewing reality for what it really is, but I get the sense that reg server players probably get pissed that heroic gets like these really good changes for the server, but it feels like they just kind of swept to the wave side, right? Which is, to get to the main point is that when Nexon makes changes these days, or adding content, they really want to make it so that it works in both worlds. They don't want to add content that only can work in one world, because then they're kind of like walking up two sets of stairs to try to keep both servers happy and whatnot. They're going to add things to the game that will exist in both worlds no matter what.
Yep.
And because of that, you won't have changes or content added to the game that would elevate each server to their peak, because they're both bottlenecked by each other, by each existence.
Yeah. I wanna there's a lot more I could say about this, but I think we should save it for another time.
Yeah.
I don't wanna go off the rails too hard.
But like that's like the overarching thing. Like it's like you said, when you zoom out, it's just like fuck, it really is just reg versus reboot. Not like the community, but like just the philosophy of like running these servers.
Yeah.
All right, I got nothing else to really say about frags. I feel like we kind of.
They need to add more to the game, bro, and they need to make them accessible to everybody, not just through farming. That's the thing that is important. And you need more control over the frags. Let us do whatever we want with them, trade and whatnot.
What I will say though, the level of quality of life that we've seen for V Matrix, like even in this most recent patch, they just completely got rid of boost nodes and tri nodes, like
Yeah.
the RNG. There's just points now. You just go
Yeah.
and everything. You max out whatever you want. You have full control over that, and then you pay 10 mil to reset it if you need to.
Yep.
Right.
Which is dumb.
I don't think that level of quality of life will be added to 6th job until 7th job is out.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think it's that far out.
I
I think
that's
they're
what I
faster.
believe.
I think they're faster on QOL than what they used to be.
Like I dead ass think that when 7th job is released, solar energy will cease to exist. It'll just be one currency.
Now that would be crazy.
I truly believe that. Like they'll just get rid of solar energy. It's just one currency now.
It makes sense.
And then
yeah.
If you wanted to still make like boosters, right? You would just pay frags. There's just no more energy now. And then bosses would also start dropping fragments too, because it's just one currency. That's what I think.
I think it's gonna be alleviated faster than that.
I want that. I truly, obviously, that'll be great for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just based on trends, based on how they, did things for V Matrix, like that's just what I think will probably happen. Because Nexon has patterns, and they don't really stray from that. Rarely, as we saw with the damage skins.
I think what Omigo said is a good point. Like Challenge World 4, they give you 20 Janus, right? When you complete it. I think stuff like that is going to pop up more often. Where there's like a coupon that just adds levels to your skill that you desire. Like an XP.
Or they paywall that.
I mean, that's just definitely getting paywalled, for sure. It's definitely getting paywalled.
Or they just paywall that.
Alright, let's take some like final thoughts about the podcast and then wrap things up.
Yep, sounds good.
What'd you guys think today, bro? What'd you think of the topics? What'd you think of like the conversation? Do you like this type of stuff? Do you want us to do it more often? What do you think, bro? I think you need to change the logo. Whatever, bro.
Hey, man.
You
I
all in
made it.
2030? Yep. W. Need more. Too short. It's better than watching a Hydo one-shot everything. I didn't ask for this, by the way. I didn't ask for Hydo to be that OP, by the way. I actually asked for it to be even more OP, funny enough. When we hit episode 10, do we get legendary potential podcast? Featuring Phil. Full disclosure, Phil wanted to come on today, and I said no. Yep. I love talking about the game, and I think these more specific topics is a good way to facilitate that. Because he's a Night Lord? Nah, I just thought today wasn't a good day for that.
There's a lot of planning that comes with like making these podcasts, by the way, guys. This is not like, we're not just like fucking going in this blind. Like we do have some notes that we took down, so it's like a combination of like,
that is true,
scripted, but also like there's still enough room for any spontaneity to happen, which there was a lot of that today, right? So when it comes to like us including a third person, that changes like the whole dynamic of everything, because it's not calling anyone out, but there is a level of like intelligence required to allow each person to say their thing, because some people will just keep yapping without realizing it. So
dude, I'm pretty like, I get what bro's saying. It's like, 90% each topic. First of all, it wasn't 90%, like you're guessing it. And second of all, it's just the different way that we speak, bro. Like we speak a little differently. Like I can bro, let me put it this way. I talk about this shit every day on my stream. Like all these topics I talk about every day. So it's like I can say what I want to say very quickly, basically. Don't think too deep about it.
What was it? What was even the criticism?
That basically you carry the whole conversations.
Oh, for some of the topics?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
no,
think it's like that
that's-
though.
I didn't even see it that way because it's just like okay, for some of the all of these topics, me and Duky are very knowledgeable, so it's just a coin flip of who goes first to talk about it. There's obviously gonna be a lot of overlap of what we say.
Yeah.
Like that's why for some of the topics, like okay, I know you already have a lot to say about fragments, so I'm just gonna be on assist mode because a lot of things you were saying, I was gonna say anyways, and anything that you didn't say, I would add to that.
Yeah. It's all good. I'm not thinking about it too much. Fact pet topic? No, all of these things are topics we do want to talk about, but it's just like, you know, it's better to stay focused to just a few than just talk about literally everything all at once, right? So if you guys want more, we'll do more. Just so you know, last episode 2 was like 3.5 years ago. So episode 4 will be in like 2030.
We'll release. We will 100% release an episode before Ride MMO.
Before before the end of the year.
Before the Mars mission. Before the Mars mission. But yeah, when it comes to inviting guests,
I'm not against it.
I'm not against it, but I'm just we need to have like a good balance basically. Because if we have a guest, we want to allow them to have the opportunity to say what they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And like just between you and me already, like we already have a lot to say.
Yeah, we're already yappers, that's true.
If we invite a guest, there has to be like a very specific reason as to why, because that means that they're like an expert in this field.
That's true.
For example.
That's actually
so
true.
That me and Duky have no choice but to give them the floor to talk about something. And then me and him will ask questions and like riff off of what he said to kind of like, you know, further along the conversation, right?
That's true.
So, not that I don't want to film the podcast, but like, we're all in the same page, so it's just like, it would just get chaotic, I guess.
That's true. That's true. Like a reg player would be a good person to bring on. That's true, right? Because it's like, I don't really play reg. That is true. That makes sense.
The problem with that, not that I'm against this, by the way. The only problem with that is that we're pitting this one guy to be the whole ass representative of reg server.
We'll bring 2. Bring
2?
2 reg heads, yeah.
Holy. Are there even 2 reg server players? Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. They're probably too busy anyways, fucking playing the stock market to afford playing reg server, bro.
No, that whole server is built off of credit card fraud. Not even trolling, by the way. Not even trolling, by the way. We could talk about the scams of MapleStory. Like, that whole server is built off credit card fraud. It literally is, by the way. Like, I'm not even trolling. Y'all think State of Hyperion is a big deal? Bro, I think it's a big problem, yeah. But am I going to get a lot of support for talking about it? Hell no. Nobody gives a fuck about Hyperion. I think it's a big problem, though. Like, I think... Whatever, I'm not talking about it. I'll talk about it another time. Will you guys only talk about the game or community drama, endgame, or cringe?
No.
Hey, you gotta watch my stream for that. You gotta watch my stream for that. But no, that's not gonna be part of the. It's not gonna be
this
part
is not
of the
gonna
podcast.
be a fucking Keemstar drama alert fucking.
No,
bullshit.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
No.
As a matter of fact, doing that is the same shit that I make fun of. By the way, I just want to point that out. I make fun of people doing that. So. Talk about it. No, it's not for today. If you want to watch this podcast, you can find it on my YouTube channel. I'm going to upload it very soon. And also, of course, watch Tummy as well. He streams too. He streams as well. He streams all the time.
Yep.
So make sure you follow him at the top of the chat right there. If the heart is purple, make sure you press it so it turns gray. Hey, Tommy. Hey, Tommy. I really
Timmy.
liked watching. Hey, Timmy. Hey,
Dude, I don't know.
Timmy.
I think Timmy's funnier than Tommy, bro.
I think
Not gonna-
Timmy's insulting, bro. Like if somebody calls you Timmy, it's like an insult.
Dude, isn't it kind of interesting that all three of those letters are like right next to each other on the keyboard?
Timmy, Tommy, Tummy.
like,
Timmy.
like people can
U-I-O.
people just be typoing, dude. All good.
Hey, Timmy.
Maybe I don't know. Okay,
Bro.
now you guys are just going crazy.
Pummy. Yo, Firmu, this guy was only the fashion story champion because he was against idiots. He was against like fashionless noobs. Like this guy basically entered like a children's basketball competition as an adult. Like it's like duh, like of course he's gonna win. Like if actual NX heads showed up, he would have been obliterated. Like me.
You know what's so funny, dude? There were a lot of people that were like salty about that because they were saying like, dude, I would have if I was in this competition, I would have fucking washed everyone. But it's like, okay, but you weren't there.
That is true.
Stay mad,
You
bro.
should have signed up.
Be
then.
there, be there next time, dude.
That's true. Be there next time. That is true, actually. I didn't even know about it. Straight up. Be there or be square. All right, that's it. I'm going to end the recording here. Thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for watching the podcast. I'm glad you liked it. If you have any questions, concerns, or you want us to talk about certain topics, definitely leave a comment down below. I do read all the comments. Timmy's going to read them too, so we can prepare for the next podcast.
Yep. W Duky.
Yep. Thanks for watching. I appreciate... What did I say? I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.